Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're here, day 2 of the qualifiers for King of the Rockies 2025. We're here in the second half of day 2 right now. I'm Beal, joined with Manius. How's it going? That was the first half.
It was really good. We had some very exciting series, some very entertaining matches. A little bit maybe going off matter. It's like here and there, but nothing too crazy, I would say. Very exciting, and as you can see, like just seeing you put a smile to my face. It's so good to have you back, Beal.
It's good to be here, man.
Yeah.
Always such a blast doing this. Yeah, unfortunately I couldn't catch the first qualifiers live last night, but I was able to go back earlier today and get caught up on that. MSN taking it over Valdemar. That's crazy. The reverse sweep with Myriad and Lash. And those two guys are positioned to meet each other in the finals today. If all goes well, we could see a rematch there with the actual qualifier going to the winner. So I'm pumped. I'm ready for this day.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's been really great game so far, and we have an exciting series in front of us as well, with GiveUA and Filisberto playing against each other, and they both of them have been part of the Rockies last year, and so now they're getting back at it again. So we're seeing the game a little bit sped up because they're running for minutes. So Filisberto on the left side playing the House of Lancaster against GUA. GiveUAnxiety playing the Roos, opening with a double hunting cabin. And
yeah,
I don't know. So House of Lancaster already, one of the civs that came out in the last DLC a couple months back. How much have you been able to catch up back again?
I mean, I've done my research. I have stepped away from the game for a little bit in 2025. But I do know a little bit about House of Lancaster because I have run into them on the ladder, dealt with their manners, dealt with their unique units, their yeomen with the synchronized shot. Yeah, coming into this game, I mean, you told me it was going to be GUA and Filisberto. I was like, oh, we're back in Denver.
Yeah.
These guys were there last year.
Yeah.
Love to see these guys come down again if they are able to make it, hopefully, qualifying. But if not, as spectators, such a good time with those guys last year.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a blast, watching it from afar. Really had a great time, and I was envious of you guys being there. But yeah, as our lovely observer has pointed out, Roos with some good hunting cabins, a solid, about 50 gold per minute income, and then to top that off, you also have the sheep. GUA already has 3 scouts out there, so we're likely. Well, yeah, at least potentially could look at some pro scout action here, even though there's a little bit less deer and more berries on this map as usual. We're talking about pigeons view, so it's the high views but better version. And Golden Gate coming up here as well, so nothing too crazy. House of Lancaster went up with the Castle of Lancaster instead, protecting the stone and the gold. We see the first manor, and Filisberto likely just going for 3 manners and then maybe take it from there.
Yeah, you can see those scouts still coming in from GUA. They're parked right by the deer. Professional scouts are ready to go, ready to, offset the economic benefit that those manors are going to provide Filisberto. He's got the outposts, got the vision on the map, and looking to take that deer camp right under the nose of Filisberto here. Those scouts ready to receive their credentials, going to be professionals very soon here. Snag all those deer.
Yeah, it does make sense, right? Against House of Lancaster, we see the tech coming up that will provide Filisberto with up to 6 manners. So that, it's always a little bit tricky with House of Lancaster. I don't want to, allude that they're difficult to play, but You can always go for 9 manners immediately if you want to, but that does take a little bit of time, and your opponent can run away with other things in the meantime. And so that's just a little bit, have to get a feel for the match and for your opponent and see what is possible.
Yeah.
Filisberto with a solid 6 mana timing so far, and looks like he pulled off stone, so that is gonna be it for the time being. So 6 manas is it gonna be? He's levying units from the castle here as well, so Demi-Lancer's gonna be on the field pretty soon. 8 Demi-Lancers, that's something, you could do a lot of damage with 8 Demi-Lancers.
Yeah, that's quite a few of them. Stable coming up as well. You can see that there is one deer still remaining at that camp right outside of Filisberto's view, but GiveUA stealing from the west camp now. Looking to get those units away. Here come the Demi-Lancers. Gonna pick off that horseman. We'll see. Those scouts should be able to sneak through the stealth forest here and get those deer back home. Filisberto now needs to find a target for those Demi-Lancers.
Yeah, and the horseman barely making it out alive, but bringing home some very important intel. And that is that the levy have been pulled, and it's 8 Demi-Lancers, so you can even go ahead and do the math and figure out that even if you haven't scouted it, that Filisberto is on 6 manners, and that is some very important information already. And so GiveUA is reacting with that, getting the melee damage here, rather, to be able to deal a little bit better with them. And at the same time, Filisberto is already moving into the King's College, so it is speed up the game a little bit, so don't be confused. It's 9.5 minutes in, so they've been going for a while, and King's College is Filisberto's weapon of choice.
Yeah, it's finishing up right about now. GiveUA gonna stay in feudal a little bit longer. You can see those spears coming out, a couple of those early knights of his own. Taking a look at his macro at the moment, we'll see if he's gonna continue to just focus on those knights and spears, or if he's gonna get that 1,000 food per minute and invest that into Castle Age. A couple of spears though do get caught in the stealth forest, able to take out one Demi-Lancer, but that other one will be surrounded soon.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you're going with the King's College, you don't really want to lose those Demi-Lancers because of the color of S's that would provide you with an additional 5 bonus damage against enemy heavy units. And so, as we see the H-up coming in, the Demi-Lancers immediately switching from this brownish color to a nice silver touch. And there is a color of S's, the third on the left one, of the text, so that will be very, very strong against the knights from GiveUA. So Demi-Lancers, at the beginning, maybe just a nuisance. At some point, they're getting relatively strong, and now attacking and being in front of the wood line here. Actually,
yeah. Looking for some Vilpix on the wood. See those singular spearmen standing around the trees, able to get surrounded and picked out. But will let GiveUA know that those Demi-Lancers are incoming. Spearmen coming to push him back. Demi-Lancers take out a scout. Meanwhile, near the relic to the north of Filisberto's base, a couple of GiveUA's spearmen get caught out there as well, trying to deny it. Those guys won't stay alive that much longer.
Yeah, and GiveUA is still on 7 scouts, so his pro scouting is still way underway. And Filisberto doing an amazing job here with doing so much damage. If we're looking at destroyed value, he's 1,000 ahead right now. The scouts being a little bit annoying, the knights following up, so that's actually a good way here to get the aggro first, and then
I love that. There's a delayed reaction from Filisberto. Because he thinks the scouts are still attacking. But he has lost 7 vills, 8 vills.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, the mind games there.
I tried it. I tried it every single game, and it never works. And GiveUA is showing us how it's done. You pull in the scouts, you do a little damage, and then your opponent's like, whatever, it's the scouts, I don't care. And then you do the same with knights, and he doesn't react, and 9 villager kills. That is amazing. What a great play from A here, really putting down the pressure and hampering the strong House of Lancaster eco, even though he's still in feudal age. You know, he's still an age behind.
Still in feudal age, but he's got his economy cooking. I mean, those pro scouts able to basically clean up the map. That is a lot of food income for GUA. Meanwhile, we do see some more knights coming onto the stone of Filisberto. They're going to connect. There's another villager dead.
Yeah, one villager at least getting killed there as well. And yeah, as we see, open field system is getting researched. So we're going to see 9, potentially at least 9 manors. So Filisberto, he is castle age already. He wants to have 9 manors to really have a good passive econ. Especially because he lost 10 villagers by now, so and it's only on one town center.
Speaking of passive income, we get that high trade house coming in for GUA, right between those 2 wood lines to the north of his base, and he can afford to be aggressive with that one because he is just, you know, in a dominating position right now. Filisberto in quite a bit of trouble here in game 1.
Yeah, really struggling right now here to put down some meaningful military here. This one stable was able to produce another unit before it gets completely burned down. That's the Hobbler, so it's the horseman replacement for the House of Lancaster. But GUA really not letting off any steam here, and the town center is firing away, but not really doing too much damage. There and
and those vills getting scouted out. See if there's a response there. See the shift into a bunch of yeomen for Filisberto. Looking to chase back GUA, get himself a little bit of breathing room at this point. But that pressure is right there. Those units are hanging out in the stealth forest.
Yeah, the Knights really trying to push GUA away, but there are a couple spearmen, so technically GUA could try and fight this, but he doesn't really want to lose those units now that he reached the castle age as well, so doesn't really want to heavily commit here into this fight in the stealth forest.
Yeah, just looking for the right time to turn around with those spearmen once those, you know, the cavalry for House of Lancaster get a little too far ahead of the yeomen. Spears are safe. Turn around, deal a bit of damage, and then continue their retreat. Filisberto stays alive. He is still in this game. We'll see what the response from GUA is going to be in just a second. But he has got himself that breathing room that he was looking for.
Yeah, so far, you know, 15.5 minutes in, nobody has yet picked up a relic, so in that regard, the game has been pretty tame. 7 manors right now, and Filisberto trying to get the remaining 2 up. He's still on wood, on stone, so he wants to have these finished before he makes any major move. Also looking to wall off the one side of the map completely.
Yeah, it's just like Highview. Seeing those big map-spanning walls coming out right now. Yeah, you can see Filisberto, Knights and Yeomen, looking like the army comp of choice. GUA getting his techs in. See the veterancy, little bit delayed from Castle Age. He could have been spending that gold on something else though, but those will be coming in within the next minute or so.
Yeah, and GUA lost most of his scouts by now, but they also gave valuable intel, and also since pro scouting has been done, there's no deer on the map anymore, so he doesn't really mind too much having lost these scouts. There's a couple of knights trying to get into GUA's base here, but the wall is being completed.
That last corner, there's the block. Yep, okay. Not going to be able to sneak through that side.
Oh, that was a close call here. GUA barely able to finish the wall on that side. And Filisberto now trying to breach through the main entrance on that side. Gonna have a hard time because it's fortified palisade walls of the roof, so they have a little bit more health than regular palisade walls. And one hero spearman trying to
suicidal scout spearman running ahead of the pack. He's gonna stay alive. That brave spearman will be enough once the rest of the group gets here to chase him off.
Usually, those first initial people in the in an engagement were the ones dying first, but he lives to tell the tale.
100% here.
Ooh, there's an open
Cavalry looking for another hole in the wall, but it's gonna be plugged before he can get in there. Idleville on the outside, though, will get picked off. Filisberto with a couple of Bill kills to his name at this point.
Yeah, showing that being idle can actually be very deadly at times, and but GiveUA did manage to wall the left side at the same time, is able to do a nice raid here in the back of Filisberto's base onto the farms. Killing some more villagers is up to 12 villager kills, only needs to, quote-unquote respect the 2 spearmen there. Could actually fight to if he wants to, but since he can run away, it's not needed right now. In the meantime, Filisberto did pick up 2 relics, so that has happened, but is still behind in eco. If you look at the numbers, 49 villagers to 66.
Look at that. Look at this. Speaking of eco.
Yeah, speaking of eco,
2 more town centers for GiveUA. Let's go. Let's kick this into overdrive.
What did I miss? Just going for 3 town centers there, just because you can. Okay, I guess so.
He does not want to lose any sort of economic advantage to the House of Lancaster at this point.
Nope. And I mean, the thing is, like, why not do that, right? I mean, he has the time right now. He has the equal lead. He can solidify that even further if he just goes into more town centers. The third one maybe is a little bit too much for my taste, but that's fine. Synchronized shot has
Could be mega greedy, yeah. I was just about to say synchronized shot. We'll see those yeomen getting close, starting to pick off bills.
Though. GiveUA is struggling to find a response here right now. He does have the horseman number, it's just not there right now, so he cannot really prevent Filisberto from torching down that 1 town center, so I guess he wanted to have 2 and just build the 3rd one as a buffer. I don't know.
It was a good thought. Unfortunately, Filisberto's army able to contest that, even though GiveUA was trying the raids. There's the synchronized shot, but I think only 1 Vil went down out of that whole group. Now here comes in the reinforcements for GiveUA, looking to pinch them in on the north side, trying to prevent as many of those yeomen from escaping. Big engagement outside of GiveUA's base right now.
Wow, nice pincer move here by GiveUA, really shutting down Filisberto's army. He went in really deep, and he did get a lot of eco damage there, admittedly, but that was a risky move here as well. And destroyed value is pretty even. Army value is in favor for GiveUA rather, and so if GiveUA pushes on now, that could be ugly very soon for Filisberto. There's only a small little wooden palisade wall between him and the eco of Filisberto.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, though, because there are a bunch of spears now and reinforcements for Filisberto, able to deal with some of that GiveUA cavalry. See another town center coming up for Filisberto. We're about to be 2-2. Those units hiding just out of sight from GiveUA. And now we got to push in on the boar.
Yeah, boar being denied for a little bit here, as Sova pointed out. GiveUA having a lot of gold right now. It just needs to mess up a little bit more food, and then he could actually move into Imperial Age, which would most likely mean a lot of cheaper siege, and that definitely would help to break the Lancaster defenses, especially if we're looking at Mangonel Mass.
We do have a warrior monk bringing back the first relic to the Rus so far this game. 3 have been secured by the House of Lancaster, and I see a red dot moving across the map of the relic, as well as a blue dot. I think the blue dot is going to beat it.
Blue dot is faster. Yeah. Oh, no.
He's cheating. He's on horseback. So it'll very likely be 3-2. The relic count. for the time being.
Yeah, very, very likely, as well as the monk is not even making it out alive here. GUA also capturing the sacred site, so we did, if I remember correctly, we did see sacred site being pressured on this map before, so yesterday. So that actually could be in the cards that GUA is kind of, pressuring the two sacred sites here.
The miss with the synchronized shot. Was Vils able to get out of there, at least from the AoE area, in time? A couple get picked off on the retreat, but that could have been a lot worse for GUA. And
yeah, good reaction.
What remains
from
of that
GUA.
boar will be denied.
Yeah, good reaction from GUA, and also Filisberto is making sure that this Eastern Sacred Site does not get fortified any further. Rams are splitting off towards the front, and an army is moving back, trying to defend the base, because GUA is knocking out the door on the left side. There's also 3 town centers by now on Filisberto's side, so he tried to get up to speed as well with 3 town centers.
Oh yeah, it's a game at Eco today for sure. We just saw GUA take out some straggler units from Filisberto as he breaks down the door. Now the big question is, where do you send your army as Filisberto? It looks like he's coming over to try to deny the other deer. GUA, a bunch of units in the back of his base right now.
Yeah, Filisberto is doing a counter raid. He's just mirroring what he did on the Eastern Sacred side. He does have units to defend his base, mainly spearmen, which is amazing, of course, against the cavalry units. So for now, his base should be fine. He didn't actually
good amount of
lose
spears,
any more
able
villages.
to shut that down, able to get some good value out of there. Spears, right position, right time, but now we do have a big engagement on the western boar. It looks like you can see the men-at-arms have been added into the Rus army here. Able to tank those shots from the yeoman. No crossbows out on the field right now for House of Lancaster, as he just produces 1. But this HOL army is going to get cleaned up here, and GUA going to reclaim that boar.
Yeah, not only that, he was also able to shut down the building of the rams on the right side, and so he was able to get a small victory there. He was able to clean up the army that was on the boar. So he's back on track with the sacred sites. If he wants to, he can just continue moving in on the base here with the town centers, with the additional ones. That's the weak point of the base. There's even an opening, so he doesn't technically even need to break the wall, which the horsemen are still trying to do there. And then you can move on to
if you take a look at the stats
houses.
right now, I mean, GUA, double the army size, double the army value. Now making his push into Filisberto's base. It's going to take a lot to defend against this. GUA also still being able to get the food from both of the boars on this map in a good economic position. You can see resources per minute totally outpacing Filisberto. He can go imp if he wants. So much gold in the bank, you can buy that straight up. It's going to need to be a hell of a defense for Filisberto right now if he's going to stay in the game.
Yeah, and I don't see that actually happening. High armory getting dropped here on the left side of GUA's base. So he will be able to, if the game goes long enough, he could come with some siege and finish the job. But at the time being, it doesn't even need to be that way. He does have a lot of armies still, and he could just finish the game here and there. If he had his army at one point, that is.
Well, Filisberto with the crossbowmen, thinning out that detachment of men-at-arms, raiding the north of his base, cleaning that out pretty good. He is losing Vils, though, on the west side. The rest of the army is there, but Filisberto able to take out what looks like half the GUA's army here. The high armory is going to complete right now. And the eco still looks very good for GUA, although Filisberto not out of the game just yet.
Yeah, I think GOA could have done a little bit better right now in the last fight if he had all his army together. I think he gave Filisberto a little bit too much breathing room. But yeah, the fact that he is Imperial Age now, Filisberto is pretty far off, and GOA still has 3,000 gold in the back, so he can basically get all the upgrades that he wants to. He can re-macro a little bit on the food, and then he can just spam out units, as well as Siege, and especially Siege. If we're looking at all the crossbow yeomen on Filisberto's side, if we have a couple of mangonels, that could be really strong against that. Both second sides have also been captured, and so we're also looking at a sacred victory approaching potentially.
Yep, putting pressure on Filisberto. I mean, GUA keeps running into the base. Filisberto able to defend pretty well, but now he's going to have to come out. He's also going to have to come out and find some gold soon. I'm taking a look. I think there's only one tiny little gold mine still remaining within inside the red walls.
Yeah, well,
there's not much left.
Not much left of that. Yeah, it looks like there's still one on the left side, so that could be accessible if he just puts another wall down there to just shut down his third of the map. But yeah, looking pretty grim. He is not Imperial Age yet, so the manors, they do not provide any gold for him, and so that is. I mean, with the manors, with 9 manors, he has a lot of food and wood income. That is nice, and that will provide everything that he needs for Spearman and the Yeoman. But if he wants to continue further, if he wants to have knights potentially, especially for raids, because half the map on GOA side is pretty open still, you kind of need gold. And GOA is
GOA looking to block that off.
Okay.
Like you're saying, Filisberto really committing to Yeoman spears here, almost 50 spears on the field right now. Trying to lure GUA into range. Oh. That's a little greedy, don't you think?
That is a little bit greedy, and a wonderful synchronized shot here by Filisberto, who doesn't really see a lot into the stealth force here, but now he found the proxy, I don't even want to say proxy base, in front of GUA's base. All the production there with the mangonels. They're firing away a good shot here, definitely onto the crossbows.
Those are some brutal hits. I mean, numbers-wise, Filisberto outpacing GUA, but those units are just worth so much more, and Streltsy now in the production.
Yeah, GUA switching, so they completely they lost any knights. He's fully onto the horsemen. Some men-at-arms Streltsy, as you mentioned, and then a lot of siege there. Filisberto trying to put down a keep on his own, it looks like.
Yeah, looking to secure that gold. He needs gold badly. I mean, so far the Yeoman and Spears have actually been able to do a pretty good job at holding off GUA. But he's going to need something more as those techs come in, as those better units take the field. Synchronized shot. Not too much damage, and it...
Oh no.
Neighborly keeps. 2 keeps in the same zip code.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so hilarious. And GUA looks like he has a couple more villagers, so his might go up a little bit quicker. GUA now moving on to that. Is he gonna finish that? That is the question. It looks like he will.
I don't know. There it is.
Oh.
There it is. It goes up.
Oh, what a close call. But the mangonels, they do a lot of damage on there, and all the melee units and the villagers even pulling their torches and burning it down. That is not a long keep for sure, and Roost Keep has been constructed there as well. So this is a very heavily contested area, and in the last couple fights we've seen how much work these mangonels are doing and how easily they were thinning out the yeoman crossbow mass that Filisberto had. And so no way, like if you have enough Yeoman, you can try to take down the siege with the synchronized shot because you have a lot of range with the synchronized shot, but that is not necessarily easy, and GUA has done an
Oh no.
amazing job here with shutting down every gold. Filisberto
These
trying to claim the
villagers
left gold now, but...
marching to their doom. Trying to take out a couple of Roosvilles, if they can. Doesn't seem to matter at this point. Sacred Site coming down to 5 minutes. Another keep.
Another keep.
GUA saying, get out of my game. This was a fun back and forth, but you know I got this.
Yeah, he is done playing for sure, and you know, we kind of see how he got his name, because that keep is really, if I were House of Lancaster, that would really give me a lot of anxiety right now.
Giving you lasting depression.
Lasting depression, yeah.
From those keeps right in your face. But, I mean, Filisberto able, you know, he's making those trash units work for him. The army's thinning out. It's not going to be enough. And those units finally are taken out. No real army left for Filisberto, and there is the GG. Game 1.
Wow.
GUA.
Very, very fun back and forth as we see reflected in the military value graph, but about halfway through it flipped completely into GUA's favor with just one small upset where I think he could have committed a little bit harder, but then yeah, he really cemented his win. And you know, playing Castle against Imperial is always a rough time, and you have a strong,
especially not having gold. That also hurts.
Especially not having gold, and GUA actually having a little bit too much gold in comparison. But
I was looking at that economy count earlier in the game. That first dip from Filisberto. What's still ringing out in my head is that that play that GUA had. Those 2 scouts to harass the villagers that were mining gold. Maybe make Filisberto think, oh, it's just scouts. Oh, he's just, you know, annoying me with these pings. 3 knights behind that adds up to about 8 Vil kills. And GUA really setting the pace of the game after that.
Yeah, and it really was, like, you could see the villagers were moving back, and then they continued their work because it was like, oh yeah, it's only 2 scouts, nobody cares. And I can just look like half a minute later and pull that one villager who's about to die. And then GUA immediately moved in with the knights, and it worked out so perfectly. Like, I tried it every single time, like, I have an opportunity like that. But yeah, it never seems to work as well. But really well played here by GUA, and like,
for sure,
you know,
Filisberto hanging on for a while in this game. A lot of engagements really swinging into his favor, making the most of you know, what he was able to build at that time. You know, great timing with the crossbows earlier on, preventing GUA from really using those men-at-arms effectively in the back of his base. Able to really cut down GUA's army at that point. He held on, and maybe we'll see another game, this next game, go the distance as well.
Yeah. And so we're having Frisian Marshes, and the next matchup is being loaded in right now. Filisberto starting on the left side with the Knights Templar in red. So it's the French variant, one of the 2 French variants, against GUA playing the French on the right side. So I'm really interested. Like, I have not seen Knights Templar anywhere in these qualifiers, and I have especially not seen it on Frisian Marshes. So I think that's going to be really interesting to see what Knights Templar is going to do, because it is a really, really powerful civilization when there's water involved, because of their wood inco being really, really strong, also producing food, and so you don't really sacrifice a whole lot. And yeah, that's a part of the reason why it's so strong. So I'm really looking forward to. There's a villager already moving out, so I totally expect a dog play here. He tried to go for
absolutely
a barracks,
going to throw down that first dock on the Frisian Pond there. I do tend to see a lot of French on this map, as this map is super, super food heavy. Those ponds filled with shoreline fish, a lot of berries, a lot of deer, just stretching out across your side of the map here. And with the French knights you're able to take map control and secure all of that. Also, I remember when the trade posts used to be in the corners instead of right in the middle on the opposite side, and felt like it was Mongols every day back then.
Yeah, it was Mongols, or if you had civilizations like Malians or Ottomans, you would more often than not see trade being an option there. Jeanne d'Arc or French could also play the Chamber of Commerce instead. So yeah, really, I think it's a good change actually. Like I like maps where the markets are in the corner, absolutely. But I also like maps where it's not that way and it's a little bit more tricky to make trade work, because that forces you to play it a little bit different, and you don't see the same playstyle every single time on that map.
Yeah, market's still accessible with map control, just not as easy as it used to be. And no surprise here, School of Cavalry on the way for GUA.
Yeah, School of Cavalry on the one side. On the other hand, we do not currently have confirmation about the commandery that Filisberto is going to choose. My guess would be the French.
Where was that villager going?
France. Yeah, that is interesting.
He's building the dock down there. He's with friends, but this is definitely a slower Dark Age, I would say.
Yeah, it definitely is a slower Dark Age. And also one thing to note, if you're going for the docks as the French, you also get the 10 population from the dock. But you do not get that as the Knights Templar. So you still have to go for regular houses, even though you build the docks. So you have to invest a lot, and it obviously will pay off pretty soon. But yeah, very, very delayed feudal age time here for Filisberto, and I'm really wondering if that might be a struggle for him, because GUA is going up with 5 villagers, so he wants to be there fast. He has enough resources to immediately queue a Royal Knight right about now. And if you're still
now he's shifted 15 vills to food. All right. I was wondering when that was going to happen. Whether or not it was going to take like a full year to get up feudal. But Filisberto now with the fishing ships out, able to re-macro his villagers, take those sheep under the town center, and scramble to find a way to feudal, as that first Royal Knight is on the field for GUA.
I mean, it doesn't take too much time for you to get up into the feudal age as Knights Templar, but you also sacrifice a villager for that, so it is a little bit of a struggle sometimes. And we see an outpost being constructed in the gold, because he knows that is a very welcome angle of attack for the Royal Knights. So you do need to have an outpost there or a handful of spearmen. But yeah, still no feudal age here. Very interesting opening. I have never seen that opening. I have seen a couple different openers with the Knights Templar. There's the Kingdom of France. No real surprise there.
Oh no!
Getting a villager kill even though there's an outpost, that feels nice for GUA.
That feels really bad for Filisberto.
Yeah.
Oh man, he had the outpost and everything. Oof, that is rough to lose that bill. I mean, he does have the fishing ships. Will have food production on those shoreline fish.
Yeah, and GUA did scout that out by now, so he knows about that. He knows about the other pond, so that could be lost relatively soon. I've seen funny things with, like, producing a demo ship or things like that, so we could see some fun stuff with Filisberto. He's reaching feudal age in just a second, so there are a couple different options for him to do now. He has a lot of resources right now, so I'm really curious to see what he's doing. It almost looks like he's halfway to Castle Age. Like, I really wonder if that's some kind of fast castle play on his
Yeah,
part.
we'll see what he's got cooking up. It's so annoying with those scouts when they're just a little far away from the fishing ship. They pick out their bow and arrow, get rid of the torches.
Yeah.
Deal like absolutely no damage. The wall coming in though from Filisberto on the gold, offering a little bit of protection. Those vills able to get into the outpost. So the scout and the knight looking for a target. You can see, yeah, another garrison there. GiveUA expanding out onto the map. He's on those deer currently near his base, and it looks like GiveUA is gonna try to torch down that dock for now, but that dock does have something in production. Little archer ship.
Yeah, interesting. We see Chevalier Confrère on the field as well, so that's the special. It's a rally actually on the archer ship, so that might be a little bit better against the knights. Chevalier Confrère, the special unit that you get with the Kingdom of France, no match for the Royal Knights, admittedly.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I'm American and I don't need to even pretend to know how to pronounce that. Very good, very good. The galley coming out is going to drive away those knights. Filisberto looking for some options here. Needs to find something to do. Still has the fishing going for the time being. And with that loss of villagers, those eco units are still neck and neck.
Yeah, but that's for the fact that GiveUA has the faster villager production with the French. Again, that is a bonus that the Knights Templar do not benefit from, even though they're a French variant. So it's in a sense they're only like in name only a French variant, but they're very, very different from the regular French. And so I'm really curious to see what Filisberto is doing next. He has 6 Chevalier Confrère on the field, and going for another galley here, trying to defend the pond. So that should be enough for the time being.
Yeah, that is enough to scare him away. Is cavalry able to intercept the Royal Knight here? Deal some damage to it. Gold mine is very secured at this point. GiveUA is going to have to take the long way around past the PC if he wants to do any damage to that. But that gold mine is not going to last forever. Will last us a little longer, though. Comfortable couple of minutes. You can expand right out there with the walls. If that territory is uncontested, Filisberto is docking it up. Now taking a pond on GiveUA's side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Looking to keep that food eco humming along here.
Adding some spearmen as well, so he does respect the Royal Knights, especially with now having the chivalry tech, and so they can heal up, the Chevalier Confrère cannot. And so he needs to respect that and find a proper response, and so spearman is the right call. And GiveUA needs to fall back a little bit for now, but yeah, now you have actually the knight numbers to go on top of the galley here, and should still be in range to torch it down because the pond is so small. Almost getting down the scout here, that would be a nice little catch, but Filisberto likely losing that pond here pretty soon. Healing up the galley though, so that will last for a while, but ooh, there, the ship, come on. Ooh, okay.
Ooh!
So
love
close.
to see it.
You know,
good amount of damage. I mean, not game swinging, but a decent explosion, I'd say.
The thing is, it could have been if you react quick enough, and that's not easy to do. That actually could be really devastating if you have a demo ship blow up in your face. I'd imagine. But yeah, unfortunately, not enough to really deter the knights here for long. Moving on to the next pond.
Yeah, GiveUA just able to one by one, destroy that fishing eco. Berto continuing to mass up spears. No archers for GUA at the moment. Still going heavy into Royal Knights. 17 on the field, 5 more in production. Those spears are showing themselves at this point.
Yeah, so now we could see a switch into archers potentially for GUA, because before he didn't really have a reason to do that, and if you're just massing up Royal Knights and your opponent is massing up the Chevalier Confrère, you will do better overall.
Can you say that unit's name one more time? Chevalier Confrère? I don't have it. It's all you.
Well, yeah, that sounded pretty convincing to me, you know? That was good.
Yeah, I appreciate your pity.
No, I'm dead serious. It actually sounded pretty solid. I mean, I'm not a
Chevrolet
I had
Corvette.
French in school. You know, I had French in school. I'm still not a French speaker myself, so like, what do I know at the end of the day? But yeah.
Anyway, some pressure coming in over to GUA's base. Those Chevy Cavaliers meeting with Royal Knights. Gonna force them back. Spear goes down, but they're dancing back and forth. You can see those villagers near that berry bush, potentially in harm's way, but the retreat has been forced, and it's still Royal Knights or nothing for GUA. No archers. He's going to www.moreknights.com for all of his strategy needs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trusted website, you know, so why not? And as been pointed out, so we have the first few pilgrims just being researched, so a little bit of late research, you could say, and also not getting the full 130 gold that would be possible. He could potentially get a little bit more if he switched it to the other sacred side, but for now he's not doing that. There's a couple of knights here in the front now, so Filisberto needs to find his army and find his way back, because this is a sizable amount of knights. By the way, 26 knights now, so GUA really doubling down on the knights here. And
4 more in the queue. He's going to be up to 30 soon. He's going to have to retreat here. It is going to be very tricky for those pilgrims to make much of anything work. I mean, GUA is all over the map with those knights.
Yeah, and the thing is also, if he just pulls back a little bit and just waits 1 minute, he'll have enough resources to go up to Castle Age, and then he could potentially, we could potentially look at the Royal Institute, Royal Bloodlines, and then he just mows over the base and the game is over in like 2 minutes.
Well, he's got to get there first. He's losing a few vills. Good push from Filisberto. Good trade there to pick up some couple of vills. But he's going to have to retreat at this point. GUA still happy with those knights. Poor pilgrim. Too far away from home. They get mowed down. We got this dark spot in GUA's vision here, not seeing the pond that Filisberto has set himself up at.
Yeah, but I mean, the funny thing is he doesn't really... I mean, he did shut down 2 of the ponds, but other than that, he doesn't really focus too much on that. He split up his army, his knight numbers here, and going in from 2 different angles here. Finding some villagers, almost getting a connect there.
Yeah, this could be massive.
Wow.
He's in the base. Filisberto's backup is not in the base currently. Those knights could go crazy depending on how far he wants to push in. 3 in the back while the rest of the army retreats. There's idle time. There's more Royal Knights looking to burn down the south side of that wall. No other units in production. This is a moreknights.com production here from GUA. You said he could be making archers, could be making spears, but that would just be giving up. That would not be in the spirit of this contest.
Yeah, and to be fair, when I talked about Spearmen, I was talking about Filisberto, not about GiveUA. So we do see a lot of Spearmen, but GiveUA did a great job here at pulling the Spearmen to the right side of the base, while he was moving in with the other part of his army. So he was distracting the Spearmen, pulling them away, and then the way was free for him to move in with the Knights on the left side. And he did get
And the
5
Knights are
additional
through.
spearmen, another one going down, another one there as well. So the Knights there really being a difficult thing to handle for Filisberto right now, losing a lot of villagers there in the
Yeah, and the
process.
Knights are coming in on the north side as well. Pressure from the north and south. 37 Knights on the field. GiveUA close to Castle Age, just about ready to go up. He's going to keep working on thinning out the army of Filisberto. We'll see if he drops down that Royal Institute. There it is.
There it is. There it is, yeah. And it totally makes sense. We have close to 40 Royal Knights. You just wait for a minute while the Royal Institute comes up. You let them heal back up again. And then you get the Bloodlines, you get the Veterans, you tech. And then you can probably close out the game. And at that point, you might even be able to just ignore the Spearmen and go for the kill.
Yeah, with, just about 40 Royal Knights, which will have Royal Bloodlines by the time Castle comes in. It is going to be a steamroll, and I don't see much that Filisberto can do to stop this. Maybe angling for Castle Age himself. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big investment.
It is a big investment, but he has enough resources now. So there it is. We see the Republic of Genoa. So he's getting more gold with the pilgrims, but he is also getting the Genoese crossbowmen, and so they're like the crossbows on steroids basically. And it's coming in quick, so he will not be too far behind GiveUA in terms of age up. And once he has the crossbows, that will be really, really strong. Although I do have to say it would be so nice if he had the heavy spearmen now, but yeah, that is not gonna happen. But that would be really good against the Knights.
Well, we did see in last game, Filisberto did buy himself at least 10 more minutes with a good crossbow timing. We'll see if that'll help him out. Royal Bloodlines halfway done. Still going to be a little bit longer before that research comes in. UA is just going to keep dancing around the outside of the base. Maybe look for some pilgrims if they come out. It's like Filisberto is able to sneak one to that middle sacred site.
Good connected with the spearmen. They're bracing the charge, but again, we have the Fuel spearmen against the veterancy Royal Knights. Bloodlines barely in yet. It's a couple more seconds until it's done, so not really able to protect and help against the Knights for now.
Yeah, there it is. The tech is in. There are 6 crossbowmen in the queue, and they're all queued at the same archery range, so that's not going to be an option unless GiveUA gives him time. But I think the walls are closing in at this point. Got the mass in the south, mass in the north. Just going to keep dancing back and forth.
Yeah, and it's crazy how well GiveUA is keeping up the map control by this dance that you just described, and I guess he could even do a lot more with that map control. He could pick up the relics now and all that, but he is laser focused on his target, and that is destroy the eco and be just as toxic as possible.
Well, he is going for the relics. I do see the monks now next to the Royal Knights in the unit bar there, as some of the only units being built this game. Dancing back and forth continues, but GiveUA just not full committing at the moment. Filisberto, who is making a major farm transition. I mean, he's got 1 million wood per minute. He's floating so much of it. See if he gets that market down, starts selling that off for gold, because gold is really going to be an issue. You can see that 0 per minute.
Yeah, his gold income has come to a brutal halt because of that onslaught, relentless onslaught by GUA. At the same time, GUA doesn't have the strongest economy if we're looking at food income, and so he himself probably also either needs to make a hard switch into archers now because he cannot really compete with. I mean,
No, that's
47
heretical.
spearmen.
No. He's still only. Oh, come on. They're the ranges. I didn't want to see
They are.
ranges. I wanted to see knights only. But you know what?
Well,
He went a while. We got 22 minutes worth of knights only, and that's good for me.
I think that's enough for me. And well, the thing is, if you had like 60, 70 knights, then maybe you can ignore the 50 spearmen. But it's just, by this point, it is just too much. And we've seen the last couple minutes where he was dancing around the base. He was losing more and more knights, and he wasn't really gaining anything from that because he couldn't really commit because there were so many spearmen at any given point. And so I think the archer is absolutely the right call right now. And then maybe once he has a better food eco, then he can transition more and more into more knights again. But for now, just needs to have archers on his side.
Yeah, and Filisberto needs to figure out what he's gonna do about that. He's in a lot of trouble here with his gold per minute.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, how you get gold with the Knights Templars is you mine stone, then you build fortresses, and with each fortress you get an additional pilgrim. That monk is living a dangerous life.
Yeah, he snuck out of there.
He just snuck out there barely.
These marshes is not friendly to pilgrims right now. I mean, GiveUAnxiety dominant control over the middle of the map. Filisberto, though, pushing out for the first time in a while, needs to do something here, but as he pushes out, GiveUAnxiety swinging around the south side. Are a few units from Filisberto still in the base looking to defend. GiveUAnxiety starts knocking on the door, looking to bust that gate down. Spears coming in from the back. Filisberto maybe seeing the boar.
Oh no, the villagers living a dangerous life. Wow. Well, so we do have a couple archers now. They're still feudal age, but they're getting the veterancy in a couple seconds. We also have a couple of abolitionists. The villagers have been found, so Filisberto is trying, or is finding some eco damage there at least. But yeah, that's a lot of spearmen. Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that in the previous game when Filisberto gets gold issues. I mean, he's able to just mass up as many of those trash units as he wants, and he can use them to good effect. Look at that. Picking off some more French vills. Berto's lost quite a bit himself, but defensive Royal Knights coming back in. GiveUAnxiety looking to secure 5 relics at this point, but the spears have broken through onto the wood line. Doing what damage that they can. Town center firing archers there as well. These spears will be thinned out, but that is a lot of villager kills. Almost tying it up. Look at that. Wow. 28 to 29. There it is.
Wow, that's insane. Filisberto doing such a good job here right now with the raids, and you know, I never really envisioned spearmen being a raiding unit, but there you go. You
gotta work with what you have, I guess.
Yeah, and, well, killing the monk there as well, preventing the Vololo from actually going off. There's even more villagers that you can find. There's so many villager kills. Filisberto has been kind of like a sleeper agent for the last 23 minutes, but the last 2 minutes, he really came online and he really showed that he means business and that he is not giving GiveUAnxiety as an easy win here.
Yeah, Filisberto being very scrappy in these games. Hanging on there, not letting GiveUAnxiety, even when he's got what seems like the overwhelming advantage, come out with, you know, a win at that point. No, he's going to hold on. He's going to make use of what he has for units. Look at that, picking off some more Royal Knights. Very decent trade there. 2 go down. Spears, crossbowmen doing their job. He's holding on. He's holding on.
Yeah, pretty solid defense here for him and from him. And the thing is with trash units, it doesn't only matter about the value, obviously, right? I mean, it is the counter, and if he has so many spearmen, and he also has a good amount of crossbows as well, that is a lot of units that will just completely shut down the Royal Knights. GOA has now moved into 40 archers, so that is a lot of archers as well. And so he does have the bigger army number. Knights are not here where they need to be, so archers need to be on the run. Spearmen will go back and chase the knights. There's a lot of villagers in danger right now, but GOA can't really move into the base right now with all the spearmen there.
Yeah, enough spears inside the base to make GOA think twice about a full commit here. Meanwhile, we got that engagement with archers and crossbowmen to the north of Filisberto's base, and it looks like it's going into Filisberto's favor. Knights looking for a spot to engage to protect those archers, but they are going to be forced to retreat as well.
Yeah, the Knights are not where they kind of needed to be at this point, so most of the... I mean, you know, even though it went a little bit in favor of Filisberto, the fact that the Knights had not been part of that...
oh, and look at this
fight.
raid. That is juicy. Going up to 40 Vil kills for Filisberto here. GOA sitting on, you know, a dragon-sized pile of gold right now. About 2,500 in the bank. Needs to figure out that food income kind of lagging behind here. You can see the investment into archers. But Filisberto keeping up the pressure all across the map. Getting scrappy, starting to claw what he can back.
Yeah, and GOA did a good job here with the sacred sites. If you capture them, the pilgrims have nowhere to go anymore. I believe that GOA was able to drop a keep now in this space, so he should potentially have the... Yeah, there he is.
Yep.
Have cheaper units now, so that definitely should help him. Archers a little bit out of position, Spearmen not where they needed to be, and the raids were great, but at the same time, Filisberto doesn't have any significant amount of cavalry left to deal with the archers, so it's mainly spearmen and archers, and that is not looking like a great fight here for Filisberto. GOA should have, yes, way the superior number, the value at least, and should be able to clean this up fairly easily.
Filisberto just continuing. Look at that. Look at all those units in the queue. A lot of spears and archer as well, but he is going to be beaten back down to his base. A couple more raiding spears coming around to mess with those vills and that wood line, but there are Royal Knights present. They'll be able to deal with that. GOA now driving back into Filisberto's base. He's got to run behind the walls, run to cover. Get ready for a big push here from GOA.
Well, yet again, the gold has been denied for Filisberto, so he's again down to 0 gold per minute. The pilgrims, they can move out now. We see them just leaving the town center right now, but they will not even really get outside of the walls here before they get shot down. They're doing a little bit of a sprint here before they fall down, but they are not able to even barely make it to the destination. This is really, really grim.
So, I apparently didn't realize how far away the Royal Institute was built from the rest of the base. I didn't see that go down. We do see the second TC for GOA, trying to make up for the damage that was done to him earlier, but yeah, look at the resources he is just sitting on. He can keep this up for a long time. Doesn't matter how many times Filisberto can just barely push him back. GOA is going to be able to remass with ease. Keep that pressure up, breaking through one layer of those walls, getting very close to that farmland.
Yeah, and I mean the main issue for Filisberto, and that I think it had been the main issue for the last 5 to 10 at least minutes, was that he had been shut off from gold, and his pilgrims cannot reach their destination as well. So he doesn't have any gold income. That means the the Templar brothers, they're not available to him. The Genoese crossbowmen, they're not available to him. So he can basically, he has horsemen, he has archers and spearmen, and that's it. And that is not really cool if you want to fight against the royal army with the royal bloodlines as well. GiveUA is lacking a few of those unique techs still, but he can easily catch up. And yeah, looking at his resources, he just needs to remacro a little bit, and then he can go Imperial Age. He could even drop the Red Palace right in front of that base here.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. I mean, GiveUA dropping those "get out of my game" peeps in the previous game. We'll see if that happens. We do see an outpost coming down for him outside on that gold of Filisberto. It looks like Filisberto army is finally going to be cleaned up here. Forced back into the base yet again. It's just wood and food for Filisberto.
Okay, the villager was a little bit out of place here. But yeah, so almost all the spearmen are gone. There's just nothing here for the Filisberto. And he does the best that he can, admittedly, with the resources that are given to him. But he doesn't have gold, and gold is such an important resource. And you cannot create it out of thin air. You do have the pilgrims, but again, they're leaving the town center, the Templar headquarters. But they will die. Oh no! Why is he listening to this? Well, I mean, I just, said it out of,
No, this is how he wants to end the games. Just all the time, like, I'm not going to full commit with the army. Just buy enough time to drop that key right in case of Filisberto.
This is so toxic. I mean, I love it, but at the same time, this is really bad manners.
Well, they can settle it in person in Denver.
I guess so, yeah. So 22 villagers trying to raise up the Red Palace, but Filisberto taps out before that happens. He does not want to see that kind of atrocity in his base. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Another crazy game. Filisberto hanging on as long as he can. GiveUA not delivering the coup de grace until he's able to get those villagers in position to drop the coup and completely shut him out of the game. Absolutely brutal, but really fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Good game.
Yeah.
I'm excited, for game 3. Are we going to see a similar thing? Is Filisberto going to pull something wildly different out for this last one? We'll find out.
Well, we're gonna find out very soon, and I really, props to Filisberto for holding on so long. If we're looking at the resources, GiveUA had 10,000 more gold to work with, and Filisberto still made him work for the win here. So he tried his best, and it looked really good. His raids were amazing. That one, marching into the base with the spearmen. I've never seen something like that. That was amazing, and it worked really well. And we can see it in that, in that dent in the eco here on the blue line. That was really good, and that set GiveUA a little bit back, even to the point where he went for a second town center just to offset that a little bit. So well played by Filisberto, but
absolutely, you got to do what you can with what you have, and that was a great little spear raid. And I haven't seen KT enough on Frisian Marshes to know like what we're looking at for Dark Age timing. It did seem like Filisberto had kind of a slow age up there into feudal, but far be it from me to say whether or not that's actually correct. I gotta catch more matches with KT on Frisian Marshes. I don't think I've ever seen one before.
Yeah, same here. I mean, KT has either not been picked or it has been banned in this qualifier. So I haven't seen it on Frisian Marshes, at least in these qualifiers. And so I think the timing was off, but I do not, I don't want to overstep my role as a spectator here, and saying that he made any mistake there. It just looked a little bit off. But that was not the main issue. I think it was mainly that he just didn't really find a proper response to the knights, and he was pushed into his base, and then he ran out of gold. And that is
the main
issue,
issue, yes,
have.
was the 40 Royal Knights with no other supporting unit for 22 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
Moreknights.com is who GiveUA apparently is sponsored by, or was for that previous match. But we are going to be moving on Dry Arabia here. We're going to have Ayyubids versus Ottomans in the match point.
Yeah, so GiveUA up 2-0 against Filisberto. It's the best of 5, so he could potentially close the series out with this last match. Yeah, looking forward to that. Should start in a very short time. And in the meantime, I do wanna, like, I see the donation bar. I do wanna thank the chat here for chiming in and donating to the tournament. So everything that you donate right now will help us cover the cost of the event. Once that cost has been covered, everything else will go towards the prize pool. So you do have the chance to increase the prize pool even more. Currently, it's sitting at $15,000. Sponsored by World's Edge, but you as the community can increase that even more. So if you want to support us, and if you want to support your favorite players who are gonna be here in this tournament, and so far we do have Wham, Louis MT, Happy Paw, and MSNDK. Those 4 are set to play in King of the Rockies 2025. If you do want to support these and 4 more different players, consider donating to us, subscribe to our channels, and check our merch out with some very nice hoodies and t-shirts.
And I do want to jump in real quick and say, you donate through the match arena. We got Type Error Dubs coming in. He's gonna match every donation we receive this weekend through Match Arena. Up to, I think, $2,000. Maybe we can convince him to go over that limit. But all those donations through Match Arena will be doubled thanks to the generous Type Error Dubs.
Indeed, yeah. So shout out to Type Error for that generous offer there. And if you do not like him and you want him to pay more, you should consider donating. I
just threw in some money. It's like, all right,
I might do that later as well. We'll see.
No, I'm super excited. Yeah, no more fast Chinese and McDonald's for our competitors this year. Type Error, we're going to the best bistro that Denver has. Please. I'm kidding. Those donations are just covering the baseline.
I was gonna say, I just said it's gonna cover the cost, and then you're like, oh, we're just spending it like big. Yeah. Oh gosh, you're killing us, man. It's trying to get us canceled or something. I don't know. Oh gosh.
Dude, but Patron. Yeah. All qualifying players get their bottle of Patron, except for MSN. Is excluded from that.
Okay. Well, with that, I think we're about ready to hit game number 3. GiveUA against Filisberto. GiveUA being up 2-0 right now. This might be, match point might be the final deciding match. We see Filisberto, or now we're switching to GiveUA with the Ottomans on the right side of the map on Dry Arabia, playing against Filisberto with the Ayyubids in red on the left side. Started with a mill on the berries. GiveUA, as the Ottomans, is not looking for early aggression here. So we could have seen Dark Age Barracks, could have seen Dark Age Military School. We're not gonna see anything of the sorts. And instead just a fast feudal, if you will.
Yeah, with pretty standard stuff from both the players. Although the mill's up, Filisberto still taking sheep at this point. Gonna save those berries for later. Show an eco wing to me. I don't know if anybody else thinks that, but taking the sheep right now, leaving those berries for later. Looks like there's not going to be too much in the way of interactions going through the Dark Age here between these two civs, as we see two sheep that are still safe right outside the Ottomans' base.
Yeah. And so, I mean, even with going into the eco wing, into the growth wing, you could still go onto the berries, and you just have to distribute your villagers a little bit. But yeah, right now it's completely empty, and depending on how aggressive GOA plays it, that could become an issue. You know, if you run out of sheep and then you want to go to your berries, but the Sipahi or archers are already there. So a potential mistake in a sense, but for now need a player looking for some very aggressive play. At least not Dark Age focus, right? I mean, no barracks as of yet. Twin Minaret Madrace is the choice for GOA.
Yeah, that is coming up, and there's the eco wing growth.
Wing. Okay, so
no surprise. No surprise with the opening.
Well, not really a surprise there. Again, you could have taken the berries beforehand. As long as you don't deplete them, it doesn't matter. But he's gonna get 3 villagers as well as some additional. I believe it's 50 food per berry. I don't play the eco wing too often, but I believe that's what it is. So
yeah, I rarely do it into feudal.
Yeah,
I like my dervishes too much to give them up in feudal. But you know, we'll see in just a bit. Minute and 20 more seconds when that comes in. Twin Minaret is here. Is there enough room?
No, it's just
berries?
one space. Why is that only one tile there? I do wonder. It's yeah. As
it's giving you anxiety. It's giving Cow anxiety. It's giving me anxiety looking at the placement of the Twin Minaret.
You know, it is 100% give you anxiety from the get-go. He's like, I'm not gonna only give I'm not content to give my opponent anxiety. No, I do want to give every single one who's watching this game anxiety, and I'm gonna misplace the Twin Minaret Madrace on purpose, just to mess with their brains.
He's definitely styling on us.
Yeah.
He's just showboating a little bit.
Yeah, probably. Like, that is a choice that you can make, and so I kind of have like HDH. How do you call it when you obsessive compulsive disorder or whatever, OCD. So like I really like to place the buildings really close to each other and like just perfectly neat together, and yeah, so this kind of triggers me what he did there. But regardless, so Ayyub is through, and we see these additional villagers moving onto berries. It looks like on the sheep actually. So is he even on sheep on the berries? Okay, he's moving to berries right now. That's good. A lot of villagers on gold here for the Ottomans, so could potentially be a fast castle. Huh.
We'll see how it shakes out here. Look at the Ayyubids. You can see migration over to the berries, dropping an archery range, getting a stable as well. Couple of feudal production buildings here. See a little bit pressure coming out from the Ayyubids. Outpost protecting the gold, but no early Sipahi. That Ottoman economy is, it's telling me castle. It's not saying anything else. No wood, just food and gold.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. And so the thing is, since he scouted the wing, right, he knows it's the growth wing, so there's no early desert raiders. He sees, okay, there's a stable, but or two actually, but that doesn't necessarily mean much. There's a barracks also coming up. he sees there's no military, and so he might be like, you know what, I can actually get away with that. And with a fast castle, Magnet Imperial Armory, and then you add the blacksmith and the military schools, yeah, that's definitely not the worst, decision that you can make. He is adding a stable now.
Just getting that one ready for when Castle Age rolls in. Not too far away, under 100 resources apiece for food and gold. Filisberto looking to wall off his side of the map. Couple of Desert Raiders on the field now. Scout leading that pack, but they're staying at home for the time being. Filisberto, I think, trying to figure out what exactly he wants to do here. And there's the MIA. Castle play is in.
Wow, this is so interesting to see how, Filisberto, he has his Desert Raiders in the back. He walls himself in. He really expects Ottomans to be aggressive. And GUA plays the exact opposite. He plays exactly to that. He's like, you know what? You're expecting me to be aggressive. You will play defensively. You will wall yourself in, and you will be scared of me. And that's totally fine because I will just go fast castle instead. Filisberto is moving out now, but that's a little bit too late. He will reach the base by the time that the castle age comes in. That is so interesting to me.
Could be thinking advancement. It looks like all that food though is still just being invested right now into Desert Raiders.
That Imam.
Double
that
Imam.
Was a close call.
The Ottomans.
That was a really close call. So he was moving the Imam up to the northern relic, but he saw that they were the Desert Raiders, and so he needed to switch back and don't move there instead. GUA's gold is pretty defenseless right now, so he needs to retreat there. He's probably gonna lose a villager there as well. But
there's
at
one
least
pick.
not losing more.
You see more production buildings coming around the side here on. To get that blacksmith influence going. Pressure here and there on different sides of GUA's base. Does have that sprinkled in the MIA on a Mangonel, and got his first knight and Sipahi out on the field as well. Filisberto committed to the feudal age Desert Raiders, keeping them in production in the queue, able to snipe out a scout. Maybe gonna take another Vil off of this. Able to sneak away just in time.
Have a Lancer there as well, so GA is not moving into Sipahi.
Looks like an Imam might go down as well, so that Lancer can't really take on those Desert Raiders at all with all the bonuses that the Desert Raiders get. Imam needs to be pulled over, start healing up those Vils, and here comes our first Springled trudging out onto the field. As another Vil goes down, so that is 2 in the favor of Filisberto here.
It's another one, 3 villagers. One of the Imams has been killed as well, and the Lancer, as you said earlier, as we saw, couldn't keep up with the Desert Raider, just because for the camel unease, and then also the fact that the Desert Raider does bonus damage against cavalry if they're in a melee form, which is kind of like an interesting, combination if you think about it, that the Desert Raiders kind of counter cavalry, and cavalry kind of counters the Desert Raider as at the same time, at least the horseman does. Springle is not
really interesting unit. It's a shame Filisberto just lost a couple more, just that micro right around the base, losing more than he needed to, but he's still full committing to those Desert Raiders, looking to keep the Ottomans contained here. GUA needing to switch into archers to find something that will do damage cleanly against the Desert Raiders.
Yeah, the archers definitely making a lot of sense, although they're still feudal age, so they're not super hot right now. They would be a lot better if they would be castle age. Filisberto is moving out on a deer, so technically that would be a good angle of attack for GUA, but he doesn't have the Lancer right now. That he would need for that. Filisberto again in the woodline, almost there would be another villager kill there. So really doing a good job here and just constantly harassing Getting some extra sheep here. Shout out to that
Yep.
podcast, by the way.
Hey, I'm wearing the shirt. Yeah, Anatolian Hill's coming in. I mean, he's forced into his base. Getting that easy food is definitely a bonus for him. Another Desert Raider goes down, but the pressure is mounting on GUA. Filisberto looking to, keep up with his Desert Raiders with the reinforcement wing into Castle. And such a good job at containment, too. I mean, GUA had that timing to get Imam from the Vizier point out on the map right when he hits Castle, looking to pick up those relics. There were just enough Desert Raiders on the map to shut that down entirely. Relics are still 0-0 at this point.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate of a timing here for GUA. So, sometimes things like that can happen. You don't make a mistake and it still doesn't work out. And I think that was one of these cases. Filisberto killing some more villagers. He will sacrifice the Desert Raiders for now, but he is getting the reinforcement wing, so he will have Desert Raiders for the rest of the game for free. I mean, obviously not all of them, but like some of them constantly produced by the House of Wisdom, and he was doing, he is doing an amazing job here with shutting down the relics. GUA wasn't able to pick up a single one, even though he tried multiple times. He's now moving out with the full army to get one at least. This is such a testament of the state of the game right now that he needed to pull his whole army in order to secure a relic.
Yeah, well, you saw his production building that came down as he was going to Castle was a stable, but he's had to pivot very hard into archers at this point to keep those Desert Raiders at bay. Though he is at a pretty decent mass. His 17 will make quick work of him when it comes down to it, with those 4 Springalds in the back, providing supporting fire.
Yeah, although the Springalds will not be extremely valuable against the Desert Raiders, I'm afraid, and so it really comes down to the archers right now, which they're still waiting on their castle age upgrade right now. Veterancy is coming in. It's going to take another 15 seconds or so, and
oh no!
In the meantime,
we got all the Desert Raiders are dead. They're popping out now. We had some idle vills from Filisberto, and now the relics have been opened up from GUA. He played that well. He defended as best as he could. Got his archer mass up and going. Getting his Springled count up. Now these Desert Raiders, not going to be the problem that they used to be. Although 3 of them breaking off into the back, being a little cheeky, picking up another vill. We got Camel Lancers now in the mix. Archer's not going to do too much against those, but you can see the response from GUA. Crossbowmen anticipating that swap. Didn't already scout that out.
Yeah, the crossbow, they will be really good against the Lancers, because that would be a huge issue for him if he only masses archers and then you have a couple of Camel Lancers in your face. That is always not a pleasant surprise. But so now,
the
so
Desert
now,
Raiders able to pick up another
right
vill,
numbers.
And then they get killed in the back. All those archers. So the big mass is forming outside of GUA's base, and for the first time in this series, looks like Filisberto is the aggressor.
Yeah, and he's doing a really good job at that. So far it has been really strong. A little bit of a delayed response here against the archers, but yeah, Camel Lancers now moving on top here and decimating the archer numbers. That's a lot of Camel Lancers. Yeah, it's a lot of Camel Lancers. There's also a couple of crossbows. Volodor getting popped here as well, but not gonna be of any effect here for now.
Yeah, it was dangerous. Those Lancers were dancing right around the edge of that AoE effect there. You are going to see another Imam go down. Going to hold GUA to 2 relics at this point. And Camel Lancers coming around the backside, going to pressure the gold, looking for another villager pick. We're up to 9 for Filisberto. Able to get away there. But the crossbows, Springalds, are going to find those injured Camel Lancers. Filisberto, though, committing to it. Not many crossbowmen there. And those Lancers able to make quick work of those. Springeld's now in trouble. They're going to be slow on the retreat. One pops, and I mean, these are free Springelds, but those are getting thinned out. And the Lancers, though, taking quite a bit of damage. I mean, when it comes to a value trade, those were free Springelds, and those Lancers do cost quite a bit, and they are dead.
Yeah, that was a costly engagement, but at the same time, it's also important to, get the
and
siege
another big
down.
raid on the stone. Filisberto finding even more vills. 15 vill kills.
Yeah,
really
these raids have
constricting
been
the Ottomans.
So brutal. I'm really, happily surprised. Let's say that, put it that way, by these extremely successful raids by Filisberto, and we see that there's some vizier point that GOA could spend, so he potentially is looking for, military campus. Okay, so military schools being added to the mix here as well. I was gonna say I could, in that sense, in that game, since he lost so many villagers, I could see him going for 2 town centers and then using one of the vizier points for the Pax Ottomana to produce a lot more villagers in a short amount, in a couple more minutes, to get back up, because 58 to 42 villagers, even though you have a lot of free production with the military schools and the Mehmed Imperial Army, it doesn't really feel great. Another double volume here actually being pulled.
Cute little defense there, but that, it just gives the Lancers enough time to turn around and take out the Sipahi. Now they're able to dive in on the archers here, able to take out one Imam. Not going to let those relics get back to the mosque here, as we get archers and vills going down outside the town center. Town center is full up at this point. Desert Raiders now attacking the wood line. Looks pretty devastating for GUA at this point. His units are just getting deleted from the map. Med are going down as well.
Yeah, it does look pretty grim, and the issue is with the comp that GUA is working against. I don't see the Springles really being that valuable. So really rough position to be in right now. He is getting his military schools up, so in theory he does have his production, but 20 villager kills compared to 1, that really is brutal. So again, I really think that a second town center would be in place right now.
It's just, the cost of getting that set up. How do you pull that off? Because the raids, the big raid may have died down, but the pressure hasn't stopped. Filisberto is still, circling GUA's base, looking for some harassment, looking for some picks here and there. Finally, the Dervish are out on the field. Filisberto getting himself his first relic, looking to start taking some sacred sites as well. And this game is playing out kind of the inverse of what we've seen so far this series.
Yeah, indeed, and we could even think about a reverse sweep potentially here. Filisberto doing a really good job here right now with the Ayyubids, really putting a lot of pressure on the Ottomans, who lately have been a very strong civ as well. Like they have some kind of like ups and downs sometimes, but lately the Ottomans have been in a pretty good shape. Looking for survival techniques right now, as well as wheelbarrow for the Ottomans. The GUA is trying to get some eco boost here and there, and potentially going out on the map for the deer. But I don't think that Filisberto is really letting him do that. He added horsemen to the mix now as well, so we have a good comp between Desert Raiders, Camel Lancers, and horsemen. A lot of
hey, there's your TC going up on the deer right now.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't. When we're talking about it, GUA had about 800 wood, so he had enough wood, and he had 100, almost 200 stone, so he wasn't far off. And I really think that the second town center is in order. I mean, again, you're 20 villagers down. Filisberto is at 82 82 village. I'm kind of struggling how that happened. How he's at 82 villagers. Is he trade? He's okay. Yeah, never mind. Filisberto's trading. That's why.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Markets are going crazy. Filisberto, first time in this series, you know, taking the benefits of map control. Using that to his advantage. I mean, the second town center is out for GUA, but those vills are not safe.
They're definitely not safe, and it must feel so good to have that map control back in this third game in this best of 5 series. And again, camping the town center, a lot of horsemen there, as well as the desert riders, and you see the Camel Lancer dancing on top of the farm because this game is over.
It's a very, very happy Lancer.
The happy Lancer, yep, he was dancing there, and Filisberto with a very well-deserved win, trying to equalize the score here, 1-2, making it more possible to win this.
Yeah, if he can ride this momentum out, we'll see what the matchup will be for the next map here, but Filisberto avoiding the shutout, getting a point on the board, making this series. The series was already exciting. Those first 2 games, nuts.
Yeah.
But keeping the excitement going as we see a showdown between 2 of the guys who were present at Denver last year, battling it out right now for their spot qualification. I think we are in the quarterfinals on the bracket. Or is this semifinals?
This is the quarterfinals, and they will. The winner will meet Valdemar in the semifinals. And on the other side, down there, in the same pool, Iron Magic and Astra. They're currently battling it out in the quarterfinals, and the winner of that will meet Eliona in the semifinals. So in pool
Iron
1,
Magic
we have
and Ezra
Valdemar.
have been going for 3 hours. That's insane.
It could be. I mean, you know, if we say a match takes a half an hour and you have 5 matches plus the setup and everything, 3 hours seems a lot. But at the same time, I forgot who it was. We did have a series going like 4 hours or something. I believe it was with Gullideckle, and that was crazy. I think Mirror against Gullideckle or something. So yeah.
Oh wow!
It's a high stakes tournament here because the winner of each of these pools, so we have 2 pools, and each pool produces a winner, and that will be able to compete at the King of the Rockies, not the Garrison, the King of the Rockies.
That already happened.
That already, yeah. I'm still.
Well, that's
coming
how
back to that,
Louis got his qualification for King of the Rockies.
Exactly.
By winning the Garrison earlier this year out in Hamburg.
Yep.
I'm trying to pull up second pool here, but start.gg is completely crapped out on. So
well, second pool is already in the semifinals, so Myriad is actually facing Gullideckle there, and Lash is playing against Scarlet Devil. So
all right, look at that production coming in, helping me out here. Start.gg isn't working for me, but production's able to help.
Production is working for you. That is a good to know.
Oh, man, Lash, Scarlet Devil. So I'm excited. I mean, we had that amazing series last night with a reverse sweep, Myriad and Lash, and there is a good chance we could have a repeat of that series, except it would be in the decider round. That'd be huge. I'm looking out for that. Of course, there's always a chance for Gully or Scarlet to take it, shake things up, make things interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Gullideckle has been really strong lately. He really put a lot of work into improving, and so I would definitely not count him out at all. And Lash and Scarlet Devil, I could imagine also a fairly competitive matchup. So yeah, really looking forward to whoever comes out there on top. And in the meantime, the next game that we'll be looking at, and we just saw it briefly, gonna be Jeanne d'Arc against HRE.
All right. Well, get into that soon enough. So I haven't seen Front Range yet. I'm excited to see it. First time. I know it was played yesterday. I was able to catch some of the games, but wasn't able to see it live. So I was scrambling to catch up before the stream today.
Yeah, so you're in for a treat. Front Range is a pretty fun map, I want to say.
Yeah, based on how it looks with all the stealth forest on one side, mountain range in the middle, got that kind of lane on your side. Anyway, while we do have a minute and 30 seconds before we get into the next match, I do want to shout out our Matcherino, our donation option. For all the funds from that are going to go to covering just the essential expenses of the tournament, and then once we clear that, anything else is going to go towards the prize pool. World's Edge was generous enough to give us $15,000 for the land, which is massive. So we're just looking for a little bit of support, cover the operating costs of getting this land going. And our man Type Error Dubs has promised to match this weekend only all of the donations that come in. He's going to match them up to 2K. Let's make him pay that 2K.
Yep. So if you like him, donate. And if you don't, do that as well, because then he has to pay more. So either way, it's a win-win for everybody. So we appreciate all your support so far. You can see down there. Actually, wait, where is it? Anyway, you see it down there, the donation bar. We're at 1,600 so far, so we have a while to reach our goal, but we also have 2 months still to reach that. So King of the Rockies will start October 24th, so in exactly 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, wow. We will meet, some of you actually will meet in Denver. So that is really, really exciting. And I will definitely watch it from afar, watch it from here in Germany. And speaking of Germany, Filisberto playing the German civilization Holy Roman Empire on the left side of Front Range, which is the map that has been created by Averly specifically for King of the Rockies 2025. So shout out to Averly for making this amazing map for us. We do have the Dark Age barracks coming up. So Filisberto, he was smelling blood last game. He wants to continue that legacy. So he's starting with the Dark Age aggression. On the other side, we have GiveUA playing Jeanne d'Arc.
I can see that yellow dot creeping across the map. He is going to be able to scout. He's going to know where GiveUA's gold is right now. Scouts figured it out. The barracks is out. GiveUA sees the barracks. See what kind of response he has cooking up. I'm taking a look at this mini map. Like, look at that to the north. These pockets of gold that are easily wallable. If you can fight through the stealth forest to get there, that's really neat. I also like how the 2 mountains in the middle you can cross through.
Yeah, that's definitely
real neat stuff.
The cool thing about this map. Yeah, and that's the whole idea in a sense of that map is you have your safety resources in your base, but it's only 2 small gold veins, by the way. It's only 1,600 each. And then you at some point have to expand out of the map. You have to get on top of the mountain range there, and secure that way. You could also trade. Technically, there's a trade post there in the middle of each side, but yeah, could be a little bit tricky. Villager is also moving out there. We're gonna see a tower rush on the berries, which is also gonna cover the mining camp. Spearman arrives here.
I love it.
Aggression.
I love it so much. I mean, GiveUA has planned this out. He's getting as much gold as he can. I mean, he's certainly clear to age up. Just wants to get a little bit more for some tax once he's into feudal. Second spearman on the way, looking to harass those vills as they start escaping, start heading back down to safety. And that is, I was gonna say, There's no safe gold in the back.
Mm.
That tower is going to be pressuring both of those golds pretty decently. Yeah, in the back is way in the back. Running away. There's gold in them hills.
There's gold in the hills. Yeah, and the cow is really evil. He was just pointing out that the villager could easily just put a wall in between the two mountain ranges there and then completely shut down GUA from gold because there's nothing else on the map. On the right side of the map, it's all on the mountain range, and if you can shut that down by just putting a palisade wall there, yeah, that completely shuts it down.
I love this stand ground spearman just hanging with the deer carcass, just waiting. Those those bills waiting. Are gonna take those deer eventually, but he's right outside of TP range. He's a very patient guy.
Yeah, really well done so far. And there's the tower. So yeah, pushed off gold. Both gold veins are covered by that tower, and yeah, Filisberto is not too far behind his age up as well. He needs a little bit more gold, and then he can age up himself. And I do wonder what he's going to choose. You know, with that kind of early aggression, we could potentially see the Minework Palace favored over the economy landmark, the Aachen Chapel. Spearman doing a little bit of a dance back and forth, and now holding their ground again.
At the safe range, there's enough gold in there for one Royal Knight. There are 4 spears on the map, and it looks like this detachment of villagers coming out to establish the mining camp in the hills. Nope, they are trying to take that gold vein. But that gold mine is not long for this world. They're either going to have to long distance mine, get that repaired. But the spears are everywhere outside of GUA's base.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 4 spearmen, but they're spread out really well, and so really difficult for GUA to really get any value out of that gold still. They can, mine as they do from the eastern side of the gold and try to avoid the tower, which doesn't have an outpost arrow slits yet. But yeah, kind of difficult to get enough gold there. And we do have the Minework Palace on the other side, so Filisberto likely trying to put the aggression, continue with the aggression. There's the knight.
All right, we got Jonah Arc leveling up.
I was
Lady,
so
what are you going to do with your life? You're going to be a hunter. All right.
It's going to be a hunter. All right.
Not super surprised here. Something to keep pressure the spearmen down. You see GUA needing to engage those spears one at a time. Those Royal Knights. Able to pick off a couple, though. That tower. Brutally annoying. Joan is here. She's going to protect it as best she can from any spearmen that come out. Try to damage the villagers. Crazy to see GUA back on gold at this point.
Yeah, the tower is just a little bit too far out there. You would have to have the arrow slits and placement to get that additional range, and then you would probably be able to shut that down completely.
Well, there's
or
the
you
stone
would have
for it.
to follow it up with another one.
He's starting to get stone, and I'd like to see that upgrade coming in. GUA just out of range. Those tower arrows at the moment. Able to take the gold without any harassment here. But Jonah Arc has got to stay in place. Just provide defense for those villagers right now.
Yeah, she kind of needs to stay there for the time being. We do have the arrow slits coming up, so that tower will have it in just a couple seconds, and then he should be able to fire onto the villagers. There's the knight, or actually no, it's a horseman in the woodline here, going on top of the prelate.
Oh no, that horseman just going to completely sacrifice himself. Small amount of idle time, but not enough to really... Yeah, not worth the death there. UA now looking, for pro scouts. Trying to bring in what he can back to the safety of the town center. 3 scouts already. He is forced off of gold from his closest gold vein. But no worries. He's making his army a horseman. Unfortunately, for him, HRE has been doing nothing but building spears. So it's going to be some tricky engagements. Couple archers behind. Here comes Joan. In the back. Fight is being forced back closer to Filisberto's base. Berto now making some archers of his own.
Interesting.
Iron Undermesh coming in from the mine work as well.
I feel the archers is an interesting choice here for Filisberto, because they don't counter anything here. I would have loved to see him move into horsemen instead, actually, and then just have spearmen, horsemen, and then you have the superior comp compared to Jeanne d'Arc and to GiveUA. There's a stable at least, so he might do that still.
Might have just been archers to buy some breathing room, maybe pick at Jones archers when he got a chance to. I mean, it's the HRE. They can run a little faster, those archers, but he's going to be pressured off of wood here. GiveUA coming around to the wood line. Gonna force Filisberto to take wood from a safer place. GiveUA, though, hasn't reestablished himself on gold. He's all about this archer life.
Well, I mean, that's gonna work great until we have 2 stables from Filisberto, and then he's gonna pump the horsemen. So, but at the same time, GiveUA has been really good at making a proper unit switch if needed. So, I'm not worried about him for now, and I think he just, saw the aggression and he wants to replicate that, and he doesn't really need the gold right now, and he doesn't need to be... He visited morenights.com already today, he doesn't need to do that again.
We've already seen, I mean, it worked out for him that time. The horseman coming around, getting in range, almost getting touched by those spears. Now it's the old horseman and archer versus spear archer dance-off outside the HRE's gold. But the archers have split off from the horsemen. See if any of those spears can connect. The archers are now stepping up for the HRE. Some of them are falling. Joan getting some experience here.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. So as Jeanne d'Arc, you love these scrappy fights and just continuously fighting and killing a few units here and there, and you get so much experience by that. She needs to be a little bit careful here, but she pops the healing, so she can sustain the fight a little bit longer. Spearman numbers still looking kind of okay, and the archer numbers as well, but the damage has been done. The army of Filisberto has been thinned out a little bit, and Jeanne d'Arc is getting that experience. We can see it on the bar. She's almost to level 3, and that is a critical point in her experience.
Yeah, she's living on a prayer. She's halfway there. As you see the engagements take place, Filisberto losing a lot of spearmen here, but does have the archer numbers, though. Did not have to fall back. GiveUA out there on the deer, set up for some berries after that, but could be forced away. And we do see those pro scouts bringing that deer back to TC range as Filisberto's faster archers are able to pick off Jones archers on the retreat.
Yeah, GiveUA almost down to 4 archers, so definitely did lose her critical mass. She still has 7 horsemen, 8 horsemen, and a couple more in queue, but only 1 knight. So yeah, gold income still 0, completely off gold. In terms of eco upgrades and military upgrades, there's also 0, except for the pro scouts on GiveUA's side. Whereas Filisberto almost has...
We got villagers in trouble. Archers are gonna find those. 2
Ooh,
vills
nice
go down.
find.
3 vills. So the archers are in exposed position, but they are just gonna rack up as many villager kills as they can. Filisberto gonna lose a lot of units here. Could be sacrificing a lot of experience to Joan. As you can see that bar, she's getting ever so closer to level 3. Almost there, but that's 10 Vil kills.
Wow.
11 down for GUA.
Yeah, doing a really good job here, even though he doesn't really have a whole lot of sight here, especially once he lost the scout. But 11 villager kills, that is huge. Jeanne d'Arc also doesn't benefit from the French improved villager production rate, and so it's just a regular 20 seconds. And you also technically lose a villager once Jeanne d'Arc changes from a peasant to either a hunter or a woman at arms. And so that's 12 villagers down, and we can see that in the numbers, 46 to 34 for Filisberto. So his eco really, really strong, even though he doesn't have the Aachen Chapel. That doesn't matter. He still has the prelate to inspire his villagers. And a drive-by here with the horsemen, just barely missing the villagers there.
And Joan is almost ready to call up her horse. After picking off a unit or 2 here, she'll be good to go. There's the horn.
It is.
But we see this engagement. GUA losing some mounted units to the spears, losing a few horsemen. See a really injured knight. But Joan is riding in her band of archers and horsemen. And her champions out there as well. Looking to shut this down right now. Military count is about even. Value definitely going in GUA's favor on this. And I think he might be looking for a weak spot here. Maybe the berry bushes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
where
not
are you going?
Only the... Ooh. Well, I mean, she is pretty tanky by
she's
now.
Scouting.
So she can take a couple hits, but that is kind of dangerous.
Seeing what's up. And horsemen in the back as well, looking to move in. I think they've been activated now. Looking to move in on the HRE farms. There's the reaction from Filisberto, able to get those Vils inside, keeps them all alive. But now on the wood line, gonna lose one to some more horsemen. GUA's army all over the place. Filisberto focusing most of his units on where Joan is. Gonna force her back. Archers looking to pick off retreating French archers wherever they can. We've got some men-at-arms in the mix as well to tank some damage against the champions and the French archers. Another push, though, in the back of Filisberto's base coming in. I can see those red dots moving through the farmland. Those horsemen, though, are going down. They forced the garrison. Only one more Vil kill.
Yeah, so there's only 2 villager kills, so that is not a whole lot of damage, and that's where you see the difference between having a couple of horsemen or a couple of royal knights in your base. So a good attempt for sure, especially with the idle time. That was worthwhile still, but at the same time he was completely pushed back on the other part with Jeanne d'Arc's army.
As we're seeing here, we might be going up to castle soon. Joan coming around to dive and scout out again. Takes some damage. We're going back to Royal Knights. Almost there. Castle age for GUA. He's keeping up the pressure as best as he can. And, you know, I think he's back into a comfortable position. I mean, this looks like the GUA from the first couple of games. Able to get those raids all over Filisberto's base. Filisberto, though, in those games, did do a great job of defending with what he could. You can see all those spears hanging out in the farmland, making sure that these horsemen can't do much of anything.
Well, they still got a villager pick here, so good find here by GUA, and GA also, he did spend a couple more resources now, so he's shuffling back and forth with his resources and very close to Castle Age. And the thing is, if he wants to go Castle Age now, he would force a response from Filisberto. He either has to rush Castle himself, or he has to double down on the military production and then try to end the game in Feudal Age against Castle Age Jeanne d'Arc, which can be a little bit rough. And so that really is going to be interesting.
Well, we're looking for an engagement here. Filisberto able to catch some units out from GUA, and he's going to thin those numbers. Meanwhile, GUA is going to raid the back of Filisberto's farms once again. There's only 2 spearmen here this time, so those Vils are going to have to hide. The army count is dropping for GUA. Look at that. Half of what Filisberto has. And now here's the question. Are you going to invest in those Royal Knights for feudal, or are you going to make that push for castle with the Holy Roman Empire bearing down on your base?
Yeah, I think if you go Castle Age at this point, you basically invite your opponent to put the final nail in the coffin, and GUA realizes this. He spent most of his resources, at least in terms of food, getting some Royal Knights. So 8 Royal Knights, 5 more in queue. The issue is, on the other side, we have 25 Spearmen, so they're not really concerned. Archer's a little bit out of place here, but
they're out of place, but they were there to... They at least got 1 villager. They're hanging around. There's that pocket of what used to be 8 villagers on the berries. Filisberto backed into a corner here. GUA looking to break through, looking to get the pressure back in his favor. Filisberto on the retreat as well, looking to just catch up with the French army.
Yeah, men at arms getting picked off here. Unfortunately, they were left alone against the Royal Knights, and they cannot compete against them. So spearmen and archers would have been really needed here. And Filisberto is in a tough spot all of a sudden. I don't exactly understand why. The archers getting picked off here by the Royal Knights, charging in, spearmen embracing a little bit, not embracing, but
I mean, embracing with the tip of the spear. Yeah,
embracing the death that coming in form of Jeanne d'Arc's knights, and Filisberto still has a good number of army here, but he doesn't have the value anymore, and it's kind of
out of berries
see
there,
how
but
it
he
went so bad.
Was able to get those 3 archers up on GUA's gold, getting some more Vil picks. Joan of Arc blasting that heal. Healing up that army, looking to come in, do something with Filisberto. He's walled up. He's feeling safe. That French army is knocking.
Yeah, that
the units aren't there for
knocking
Filisberto right now like they were earlier. Oops, just passing.
Those ninja archers, oh my goodness, just passing by, like nothing to see here. Just move along.
Joan of Arc has exposed herself, and she goes down.
Oh, that is
my goodness.
unfortunate. Immediate buyback here from Jeanne d'Arc. I mean, it is expensive, but you kind of want to have her, especially since they're fighting now. And GUA caught a little bit in a trap here by all these HIE units. The archers firing away, the archers, men-at-arms there in the mix as well. Not as many spearmen as you would love to have there, but still enough to keep the knights in check. We see
it's a rough fight there for GUA. Filisberto confidently in the driver's seat. You can see him walling off the top part of the map. He's got the outposts near the gold for GUA. He's got his army together, and I think he's looking to deliver the coup de grace.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. And I love you keep using that French word against Jeanne d'Arc here, as well as
I can't pronounce the Knights Templar mounted unit, but I can pronounce coup de grace.
Yeah,
I'll take that one.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. But yeah, the Great Wall of Germany on the northern side really shutting down that part of the map, and Yeah, a little bit. I guess you could. Yeah, you could still get around there. That's it. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, in the
Well,
meantime,
we do have a fight in the middle. Those archers lagging a little bit behind. Spears trying to come up to just slow down those mounted units. Another giant wall coming in for Filisberto. Looking to close that gap. GiveUA is not going to chase past those lines here. And yeah, looking like we might be starved for wood here for Filisberto. Although, you know, he's walled the top. He can start moving out fairly safely. That was a big wood investment. But
yeah,
he's
that
just
definitely
shoring
was a
up
big
his position
investment.
here.
Knights now trying to burn down the fortified outpost here on the front side to finally get back to the berries in a double gold there, which on the bright side, GiveUA has a lot of gold. Once he gets back that gold, he has a lot of gold still in his base, so that is kind of nice. Jeanne d'Arc trying to find an entry here as well.
That mine is halfway gone at this point. Joan d'Arc has not stepped on the sacred site. Other options for gold. Yeah. Oh, they're still feudal. I know she's level 3. My brain is saying they're castle.
Yeah. Yeah, I was also kind of like, so where's the relics? Why don't they take the relics?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean,
no. This is we haven't seen both of these players in this extended feudal series so far,
which is really great. You know, like neither player. GiveUA was really close at some points in the game, but he didn't want to risk going castle and then just dying to the German onslaught here by all these HE infantry units.
Well, he's broken through
into the base.
Yeah, he's forcing a fight here. Production a little bit forward, under attack. See the scramble for farmland in the back. Archers coming around, looking for a target. Gonna get some vills on the run here. Gonna get some under the town center. Can't jump too close. Joan d'Arc halfway being able to wield a gun.
Do we see that in Feudal Age? Just a question.
I don't know if I've ever seen... I mean, in my games, I have not been able to do level 4 Joan d'Arc in Feudal. But, you know, these players, a little better than me. Filisberto able to hold the defense here, able to force GiveUA back once again.
Yeah, but now we have the charge coming in and the spears, at least partly not being able to brace there. So the Knights doing a really good job here and really strong. 18 spearmen still on the field.
And look at those spears coming around to harass GiveUA on the gold. GiveUA being forced to retreat, losing a lot of units in that skirmish. Filisberto holding on yet again. I mean, these guys are playing for $15,000 in King of the Rockies, but viewers at home, what you don't know is we also pay these guys by the minute, and that's why we're seeing these series. Well, these back and forth games.
Okay, well, I'm
not
sure about.
I kid. we're not paying them by the minute.
They're gonna earn their money to our viewers. I don't know. But yeah, we've seen another great spearman raid at it. So Filisberto really, you know, holding the spearman raids. I've never seen that before, and that's perfection being executed.
Oh my goodness, 4 charges of consecrate. Joan d'Arc is paying a premium for units, unless she has run out of production buildings to actually, right? But that little raid in the back is going to get stopped. GiveUA shutting that down. Getting some knights of his own into Filisberto's farmland. Gonna pick up a couple of villagers before the spearmen can come over and contest. We're keeping it messy, we're keeping it scrappy, and we've got Castle Age. We got burgers.
Burger fellas coming up. Interesting. I mean, you do save a lot of production just by having that. Instead, GiveUA halfway.
Oh, look at those stables. One's consecrated. One's not.
Oh, there it
Paying
is.
so much money, especially when you've been fighting for gold the entire game. All of the discounts and savings that Joan has been missing out on by keeping those production buildings unconsecrated. As you can see, her army is moving in onto that tower, but Filisberto is massing up outside, hits Castle Age, and now we do see Veterancy on the way in. Gonna wait for, excuse me, before he engages into that for Veterancy, although those men-at-arms are now Castle Age. I think the burger might be full up of more Castle Age men-at-arms, getting ready for those walls to fall and for the counterattack.
Yeah, definitely biding his time here for the upgrades to come in.
Walls down, just a few more seconds away from Veterancy for the Spears and Archers. Filisberto emergency repairing, buying all the time that he can to hold this off, but I think he'll be in a pretty darn good position once those upgrades hit. He's pretending like he's going to push back, and here he goes. Upgrades coming in right now. GUA going up with Royal Institute, but we do have an engagement here right outside the base of Filisberto. GUA looking to retreat. He cannot take this fight at the moment. And those faster archers able to just pick off all those units as Joan looks to retreat.
Yeah, and Joan is really in a dangerous position here. She cannot lose alive right now. The buyback would be really, really costly. And she's relatively close to age 4 as well. So we're not level 4. So we're not going to see level 4 Jeanne d'Arc in feudal age.
Bill's going down.
Some more villagers getting picked off here. 22 villager kills. A little bit of an oversight here by GUA as the age up comes in.
Well, we do see Royal Bloodlines and the Veterancy upgrade for the Royal Knights on the way in the queue. It looked like from when Cow hovered over that Joan is still 500 or so experience away from level 4. Garrison is in. Vills are running for cover. Taking a look at the difference in military. Filisberto, 86 to 29. You see the Knights cleaning up some of the reinforcements, but in GUA's base, Filisberto is just getting to run around and do whatever he likes. It looks like he didn't want to attack for a bit. His units on right-click move for a sec. Arrows raining down on Joan d'Arc. Is she gonna get out of there with her life?
She should be able to make it out. She's a little bit faster. But yeah, men-at-arms standing strong here underneath the town center. It's just the spearmen that are missing right now, but they're chasing the Royal Knights. So as soon as they engage, the spearmen will be able to close the gap, and so that could be really, really unfortunate for GUA here.
Royal Bloodline still not in yet. Just needs a few more seconds, but the spears are close behind. Joan has been kicked off of her horse. Falls in battle, and unfortunately those Royal Knights are not gonna live to see the Bloodlines.
No,
they'll get cleaned up.
Oh, Bloodlines coming in. We only have 3 Royal Knights left, and wow, we will in fact see a 5th game in this best of 5 series. Filisberto able to come back with an amazing Holy Roman Empire play against Jeanne d'Arc on front range. What an incredible game. Very, very well played. And yeah, wow.
Yeah, we're going to game 5. GUA was so dominant in those first 2 games. Really just containing Filisberto, who was able to put up some good defenses, able to utilize trash units really well and hang on, but would just get choked out by GUA. But in these past couple of games where Filisberto has been the aggressor first, it's worked into his advantage, and he's been able to take better fights and has really leveraged that to victory. We'll see if he can run it back. If we've got a reverse sweep today after seeing one yesterday, it could potentially be in the cards. I feel like Filisberto, for his remaining civs, I think he's got China and Mali, I think, are his remaining civs. I can't remember what GUA has off the top of my head. But not weak civs, to say the least.
No.
He
They
got
definitely have.
he got his Knights Templar out of the way pretty early.
That's true. And yeah, I do see the draft, or not the draft. I know what they're gonna play next. I don't want to spoil it, but it's gonna be a very pretty interesting matchup to say the least. And like, regardless how the last game will go, I bet Filisberto feels very happy that he was able to put up such a great fight and clap back with a 2-2, giving him still a shot to to continue in his run here in the qualifiers. It will be an uphill battle next, no matter who wins, because Valdemar is waiting for them. So he had a nice break. He can.
I'm gonna jump in
relax
real quick here, Manius. Special shout outs to Jeanne, who is casting the Magic and Ezra series. I'm looking at a screenshot. Game 4 is pushing the 2-hour mark.
Oh no, really?
We thought we were watching a long series. Oh my god, Magic and Ezra taking Game 4. It's match point for Magic.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's at an hour and 53 minutes in the screenshot I'm looking at.
Oh my
word.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. That is. Oh wow.
I mean, based on the screenshot, Ezra has more military and eco, so they could push that to Game 5, which would be ludicrous.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, Ezra is sitting on 30,000 food. Oh gosh. Okay, that is pretty hilarious. I mean, I feel for Jondo, but wow, that is. Whew. I'm kind of happy that I'm not casting that serious, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm not just kind of happy. I'm very happy. And honestly, we've got a banger of a series. We got Filisberto running it back, tying the series back up 2 apiece. China versus Delhi at the Rockies.
Yeah, very interesting matchup. China usually has been banned pretty consistently in the other drafts. Got through.
We've got it on screen. Oh my word.
Oh gosh. Oh man, this is so brutal. I mean, you can kind of see it in his eyes. I feel like he's hanging in there with the last strand of sanity. Oh gosh.
Oh, Jeanne Doe. It does look like Ezra is in the leading position. It does look like that series is going to go to 5.
Yeah, it definitely does look like that. And, oh man.
Chuck Francis there, too, as the co-caster.
Oh, wow.
Both of them locked in for a marathon.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine you could start like Avengers Endgame, and then like switch to this game like 20 minutes later, and still be done with Avengers Endgame before this match is over. Oh gosh,
run a half marathon in that time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, you know what? Like my longest game, I think was like 70 something minutes. So like,
oh, that's not bad.
I've never been at 2 hours before, and.
But yeah, in my early days, I certainly got to hour 30, 2 hour point. Pretty crazy. So it's gonna be China versus Delhi. You're on the Rockies, foregoing the Byzantines, foregoing the Malians. Makes sense for the map that we have. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
GiveUA, aggressive Civ on this. That's paid off for him so far in this series. For the most part, if he can establish that early aggression, keep Filisberto contained, and find the victory there.
Yeah, I mean, Malians would have been an option on Rockies. We've seen it a couple times, but Byzantines is kind of out just because of the stone that is way out there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's usually why you don't see Byzantines on there. Ottomans is kind of meh on that as well. House of Lancaster can also be a little bit tricky because they also want to go on stone with the manor. So it does make sense to have Delhi there for sure. And as you said, early aggression definitely on the table with Delhi. There's 2 sacred sites. They're pretty much in the middle, so there's nothing. You don't have to fight for a sacred site that is in the back of your opponent's base or whatever. So you can actually establish a very easy sacred victory if you get to that point. China, very defensive civ, but also a lot of potential for aggression. So I'm really looking forward to that. We'll jump right into the game. The deciding match, GUA against Filisberto. So GUA starting on the left side with the Delhi, Filisberto on the other side on the right, on the southeastern side, with the Chinese.
Yeah, here on the Rockies, our custom version of Coastal Cliffs. You can see the Colorado River stretching on the east corner there, cutting its way through. Yeah, we're playing with about 2/3 of the map here. Seen Coastal Cliffs in a lot of tournaments over the past about year and a half. Real interesting map with a reduced size. Like you were saying, there's 2 sacred sites. And so far in this series, every time GUA has been able to capture all the sacred sites, he's won. And there's only 2 here. And he's Delhi. So maybe that'll work out in his favor.
Yeah, some foreshadowing
forward gold
here,
and forward berries, though. We'll see if Filisberto may be thinking about some aggression with that in the feudal. We'll see how he wants to play it as he advances in age.
Yeah, we see a little bit of a delayed research timing here for the wheelbarrow coming up. But other than that, yeah, pretty standard opening here for Delhi, for GiveUAnxiety. I don't think we'll see Tower Victory, even though he probably is looking for some aggression. The Tower Victory is the Dome of the Fates is just still too good. And for Filisberto, I expect the usual opening Imperial officials into Pro Scouts, and then go from there. I don't think he'll immediately. Yeah, there it is, the Imperial Academy with the Imperial officials. Immediately scouted out by GUA, so he knows exactly what's happening. He also can age up. There's the Dome of the Faith. So yeah, pretty much a very, very standard opener so far. And I also don't think that either player will play something completely off meta just because it's already, like, it's the deciding match, right? I mean, if you do something crazy and you lose, you're gonna hate yourself after that.
Right. Yeah, they both proved that, they're here, they can both play. I think it is going to be a little more cautious. Who knows, though? Who knows? Filisberto could pull out something real crazy in this one. Remains to be seen here. Yeah, golden berries in the front versus golden berries in the back. That feels so good as China to have that safe there.
Yeah, definitely. Although the gold is outside of the TC range, so if you pull some Ghazi Raiders, you can definitely get some action there. So you definitely have the option to still mass Ghazi Raiders and then just harass your opponent. You could also, we could also see Delhi moving into Pro Scouts as first thing, just to deny that from Filisberto, because GUA saw the mills, he saw the Imperial official there, the Imperial Academy, and so he will likely expect Pro Scouts.
The first IO is out. Looking to supervise that mill. Accelerating that wheelbarrow. And do we see... Nope, a couple houses so far. Gold, though, still coming in.
Yeah, on the other side, we don't really have a whole lot going on here from GUA. Nothing crazy here, nothing with Pro Scouts or anything in terms of research. I am just scouting currently.
Yeah. Keeping it pretty standard, getting that scholar count up there. You can see GiveUA has parked his scout near Filisberto's his mine. See how many are on gold right now. Now coming around, taking a look at the mill. We have our first Ghazi Raider in production. Filisberto continuing to add those IOs. And coming around the backside himself, take a look at GiveUA's base.
Yeah, I mean, 3 IOs is a pretty hefty investment, but at the same time, it will pay off very, very quickly because one of the IOs is supervising the mill, and the other ones are
One on the
also
barracks,
supervising.
one on the lumber camp. That's pretty good. As you can see, these hardened spearmen have accelerated production. There's already 3 out on the field. GiveUA now adding archers behind this. Ghazi Raider still making its way across the map, taking a look, seeing what's up at the deer pack. Just, making sure, keeping everything honest here. But the production has geared up.
Delhi
going song.
Ooh.
With a forward Barbican looking to really secure that deer.
Yeah, the deer berries here, very nice spot. Getting scouted out by the Ghazi. Yeah, the boar, if you can pull it in there as well, very nice. But the Ghazi Raider isn't under trouble here with a spearman, but there's also an archer. So it's kind of like a nice dance here around the Barbican being constructed. Needs to be careful. There's a sizable amount of like 3 spearmen already is quite nice here. So needs to respect the Barbican for the time being. And
that is gonna get up, yeah, no question at all. Filisberto able to keep all of his vills alive, moving out on berries at this point. Securing that other patch of food right now. GiveUA, though, continues the mass. It's archers, it's Ghazi. Looking to find some connection somewhere on the map, some weak spot to really slow down Filisberto.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, Like, he could technically still go around the Barbican and go on the gold, but then you still have all the tax that Filisberto could collect there, so that wouldn't really shut down the gold income completely. 4 IOs on the field already, so that's quite a lot of IOs and potential gold income. And so for now, GiveUA is looking to capture sacred sites. He has 1, the second one is almost there as well. And maybe he'll keep it there and just try to hold that position instead of being super aggressively.
He's got to find some way to contain. Look at that. You can see Filisberto luring that boar right underneath the mill. Very nice. Keeping his vills alive. Getting that boar into a safe position. Man, he feels like he's in a real strong spot here. Ghazi Raiders coming around the back looking for targets. Gonna do a little bit of damage, but not able to get a pick. And even though it loops back again, nothing doing, just a little bit of idle time.
Yeah, Filisberto definitely in a great spot at the moment. GiveUA not careful with the reinforcements here, losing a couple archers.
In a great spot. Yeah, Filisberto is there to pick off some reinforcements. Jeanne able to take out a couple of archers as GiveUA tries to get his army in position, doing some pretty decent damage against one of those Ghazi Raiders as well. And GiveUA is going to be forced back, and we do look at a decap opportunity right now for Filisberto. But GiveUA's got units to the west, to the north, and they're going to come crashing in on that sacred site. That will force Filisberto back.
Yeah, for now he needs to respect those numbers, but 11 Shuganu is already pretty nice, and I think we all know how disgusting they could be.
Scholars coming out to heal up those wounded units that GiveUA has on the sacred site. Those blacksmith techs coming in. First one is going to be +1 range damage for GiveUA. You can see that range damage is already in for Filisberto. Ranged armor just behind that, and a yellow dot is sneaking across that map, looking to put pressure on the southwestern sacred site. And as he does that, GiveUA is going to split his army. Now's the time. Filisberto walking up, demolishing a scholar. Those Jugnus are in position. Look at the damage that they're doing to the Ghazi. There's no +1 range defense right now for GiveUA.
Yeah, it's not there yet, and the Ghazi Raiders, they were a little bit out of position, and so a really good find here by Filisberto. First destroying the scholars and then the rest of the army, and GiveUA actually needs to retreat, and the sacred site is being decapped now. It was down to a little less than 8 minutes, but that for now is not a danger at all for Filisberto. So really good fight here for him. And
really good move there. I mean, the bait, you only sent 1 unit over the other sacred site. GiveUA reacted with, I think, like 5 to 7 or so units, pulling them from the site that Filisberto wanted to attack. Was able to get in there, delete a scholar, and then the remaining 3 scholars could not outheal like the flood of arrows coming in from the Jugnu, of which there are now 23 on the field. Still doesn't have that +1 range defense, so those Jugs are just gonna be crapping out damage all over the place. Ghazi Raiders though coming in around the side, looking for a target in the back. Just 5 gold miners and an outpost. We'll see about the reaction here.
Yeah, not pulling all the Ghazis there. A little bit of a delayed reaction.
Oh my goodness! I thought he would get at least one of them.
Yeah,
Filisberto able to keep them alive.
Wow. I mean, man, Filisberto's cooking. He's been really strong the last couple of games, and this one as well. With that little bait he did there was really like the mind games these guys are playing. It's incredible. You know, first we had, you know, the one game with the scout, and then the knights moving in, and then now the same thing here. And Filisberto's doing a really good job here. A little bit aggressive here, trying to idle out the wood line here. No villager kills as of yet, but just putting pressure onto the production here from GiveUA is already doing a lot here. And GiveUA does have an army here, but he doesn't want to move in right now. He's kind of split here.
You can see Filisberto looking for a time to engage. GiveUA able to pick off some of the reinforcements, but the scholars are leading the charge. Unfortunately, but 2 of them will survive. Jugnu looking to target the Ghazi Raiders, who are now able... No, excuse me, they don't have the defense in at this point. They are able to jump on top of the Jugnu, deal a lot of damage here. The spears, not many around right now. And Filisberto is going to be cleaned up. The Delhi now with a big army advantage.
Yeah, that is a big army advantage now, and definitely evening out the destroyed value here for GiveUA. So definitely a good fight here for him to come back. He is taking the second sacred site now as well. Again, I'm not sure if we have siege engineering, but we actually could see some rams. That could be a follow-up here to try and get this food production here in the middle under control, because that is basically everything that Filisberto has right now in terms of food. There's a couple berries in the back still, and yeah, that was the last sheep, so that is gone. So only the berries in the back. If he can shut down the Barbican, that would actually be huge, because then you force Filisberto into an early farm transition, which is not something that the Chinese will like to do early on.
Well, let's take a look at this. He might be able to find something in the back here. Filisberto, though, he sees it coming. He's able to get all those vills to safety. And we can see there's the farm transition. I saw he was sitting on about 800 wood about a minute ago. Looked over, he's down to 11. I should have known he dropped a granary.
Yeah, that's kind of like a dead giveaway here. So a lot of farms being added, but yeah, that kind of shows that he is being pushed back, and he wants to make sure that he has enough resources then to react to that if needed, and he has the farm transition in place already. Gazira is trying to find some damage here, but they were greeted by a lot of spearmen, so he will find the granary here, but he will not find any more villager kills. He found one though, so finally 14.5 minutes into the game, there's one villager kill with the Ghazi Raiders.
And honestly, it's been great watching these two players. I mean, GiveUA has little pockets of units all over when he does his raids. But Filisberto knows what's up, and he's doing a good job of like equally splitting his defense to make sure there are spears to really prevent anything from being done during those raids.
Yeah, and he has a scary Chugunu mass as well. 35 Chugunu. That is something that can whittle down even the Ghazi Raiders fairly easily. UA looking good in terms of resources. He needs more gold, but other than that, he technically could even age up to the castle age. A little bit of an engagement here in the middle as well. Chugunu out of place, actually. Ghazi Raiders on top. Ouch! That's not something you want to do. He did lose a couple ones, not as many because he wasn't completely pincered there, but actually want to going for it for take 2 here.
Yeah, good little pickup there. And those units will retreat to the Scholars. GiveUA on so much food right now himself. Still, I don't believe mining any gold, just letting the Sacred form the backbone of his gold income right now. But they will commit to this engagement. Those Ghazis weaving in and out, but there are just too many spears right now. And GiveUA is going to have to retreat here, losing some Scholars, down to only a couple of Ghazi. Oh no, those 3 Scholars on the right side, just healing themselves. Oh my goodness, GiveUA losing a lot of army here, a lot of Scholars as well. Only down to 2 and about to lose some villagers on the deer. Quite a few vills.
Not reacting at all. 11 villager kills. Oh my, that is so brutal. So I mean, we haven't even touched about or talked about that Song Dynasty providing Filisberto with improved villager production rate. So we have 45 against 69 villagers at the moment. So Chinese looking really, really strong, and the Chugunu mass here is so dangerously high. The Ghazi Raiders just getting picked off here so quickly, as we see, and a lot of Scholars being lost. He's down to 1 Scholar, 1 more in queue, 2 Ghazi Raiders, 10 more in queue, so that means he's clearly not having enough production buildings. He doesn't have any Scholars in the buildings to increase the production there, and so it just takes forever to get these units out. He's still sitting on 1,000 food, but he doesn't get the army out in time. And
oh no, the Scholar, where are you going?
No, well, he's trying to capture the Sacred Site again, but that's not gonna work. I mean, on the bright side, the front Chugunu mass here, at least the part that we can see, has been wiggled down, but there's more in the backline, and this is...
The reinforcements keep coming, although it has whittled at this point. Yeah, and Filisberto is actually going to need to pull back for a second. He's going to need to regroup here. Make sure that mass is together before he re-engages. Looking to decap that other Sacred Site.
As long as the mass is together, he can't, like, GiveUA doesn't really have anything to effectively deal with that as long as there's no mangonels in place. Doesn't have the Ghazi mass to really get on top of that. 3 Scholars is not a whole lot. We don't have a lot of gold income now. It's down to 1 Sacred Site. And I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think GiveUA should maybe mine some gold, go up to Castle Age, because yeah, we just saw a glimpse of the Chinese eco. It's cooking.
Yeah,
hard.
I don't know, man. Eco is online for China.
Yeah,
gold is getting to be real hard to come by for GiveUA. Look at that farm transition. That is stretching all the way up to the Barbican. That is so much food. Looking at almost 2,000 a minute, and he is spending.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like with the Barbican, it even is in the back of the Barbican, so it is super safe, and it's so much food income. It is a crazy good eco. He has 25 villagers, more than Delhi has, and it's not gonna get any better for GOA for the time being, for any time soon here. And Filisberto is again on the top of the base, trying to push in here with the Spearman, with the Shuganu mass. Spearman will be able to keep the Ghazi Raiders in check. There's more trickling in from the back. GOA has a lot of army though, so it is a pretty even fight still, but if numbers are in favor of Filisberto, so if he has them in one place, he should win this fight handily.
Yeah, the Ghazi numbers are dropping, and then it's just going to be archers versus Zhugs. We got 4 scholars in the mix. This is going to force a retreat, although Filisberto able to get a scholar or 2 as he runs away. Able to continue dealing damage, but he can replenish his army. GUA is going to struggle. The difference in economy is pretty telling at this point.
Yeah, I think he was letting... I mean, I don't want to say he was letting Filisberto cook for too long, because there wasn't really anything he could do to punish it anymore. Moving out... Oh wow, that is a very aggressive berry farming here on that side. But yeah, he's running out of food, and he doesn't have the resources to really make a farm position right now any more than he already has, I believe.
The scholar misses his mark. Oversteps as there's more pressure coming into GUA's base here. With just so many spears now from Filisberto forming that front line. The Ghazis do try to dip in and out to try to get them into archer range, and it seems to be working, honestly. Look at that. A lot of spears going down. Ghazis will have a much safer time engaging. And GUA is going to hold on. And honestly, this is really the reverse of the first 2 games that we saw. Of one player just hanging on for dear life. The other one is in such a dominant position.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. And now Filisberto made a slight switch and putting in horsemen there as well, and they're the counter to the archers really, and pushing GA completely back into the back of his base. Some villagers even garrisoned in there as well. Numbers dropping for GUA. I do not think that this is gonna take for much longer. Filisberto had been able to in the previous games to hold on with whatever means, but I don't think that GUA has the resources right now. He's almost completely emptied out in terms of resources. His income is about 1/3 or maybe on half of what Filisberto has, with an incredibly strong Chinese eco in the back, and more units just streaming into it. This is looking really strong, really good right now for Filisberto.
The horsemen finally break through. And Filisberto, reverse sweep.
Wow.
Running it back.
Wow.
Great series. Great stuff.
GG. Filisberto taking it back from a 2-0 to 3-2. Amazing game here. Really showing why you need to ban Chinese at all times. Because, my goodness, what a strong economy. And you can see, like, the first part, that's the classic Delhi. You have the military value, you're ahead, and then you see where the Song Dynasty kicks in, and then the eco skyrockets for Chinese. And so follows suit the military lead as well. And 10,000 food more than Delhi had. Like, that alone, do the math how many...
Well, we gotta talk about the
nastiest
barbecue...
Oh, that barbecue
in the
was
world.
Beautiful.
You got your bears, you got your deer, you got your boar.
That was beautiful.
Filisberto was set.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Well, that was an amazing series. It was really close, and Filisberto was able to get out on top. He is meeting Valdemar here, so the next series is not gonna be easier for him. So I do wish him luck, but very well played series.